Dude.
I didn't do it.
Yes, you did. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G. This is the Tangents Podcast. My name is Dalibor. This guy checking himself out on the screen, apparently, is Hannes. And we talk about a bunch of different stuff. And
Talk about everything.
Then we get into a bunch of different other
Tangents.
stuff.
We
It's
talk
self-explanatory,
it's
really.
very. I mean, unless you don't know what tangents means, and
That's true. Some people did
I
not
would
do
listen,
well in geometry.
I would listen. I would Google it, and
Some people did not do well in geometry.
So geometry
It's a geometry term.
is it?
Yeah.
Tangents?
God damn it.
I didn't know. I had no idea geometry.
That's why I drew all the lines off the circle off the logo.
Oh,
It's a line
I
that,
like
that touches the edge
I
of a
like
circle.
that. Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
yeah. It's a
I didn't
tangent.
know
It's a
that.
tangent.
I mean, I knew what tangents meant. I just didn't know that it came from a term from geometry.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, but
Yeah.
but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, just Google it. Just Google it.
Just look at it. Let me Google that for you.
Listen,
But
you don't
Google
even
it
have
for
to.
yourself.
You don't even have to open a dictionary nowadays. You don't have to go to a library. You just Google it. Just Google everything.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
So we got a few things to talk about in this one. One of them I really don't care about, but yeah,
Here's the thing. We all know that all the TV shows were canceled.
yeah.
And they canceled Jessica Jones.
Let's
We're talking about
rephrase
Netflix.
it.
Talking about
Netflix,
Netflix.
Marvel,
All of the TV shows were canceled.
Yeah, all the TV shows.
All
were
of the
canceled.
TV shows were canceled. They're all gone.
Marvel/Netflix deal. All their shows, all Marvel shows
They were canceled, right? And
on
they
Netflix.
said Jessica Jones was canceled.
Jessica Jones is canceled.
They said that months ago.
Yeah. Quite
And
a few months
yesterday,
ago.
I start scrolling and it says Jessica Jones season 3.
Yep.
The fuck?
I mean, listen, I'm not surprised they're giving her a final season, but
If anything, Luke Cage needed another season.
Luke Cage 100% needs another season because that's a complete cliffhanger.
Because he's the bad guy?
Yeah.
Is that, what?
Like, Luke Cage needed a final season. Jessica Jones, probably, just because, the whole thing with, what's her name? Trish. Like, that was a cliffhanger.
Patsy Walker.
Right, like, there was the cliffhanger with Trish. Honestly, I want the season to be about Trish, and that's it. I don't even.
I really do.
Like
we said before.
Because if
Like
you're gonna do Jessica Jones, what season 2 was, I'd rather not get it.
Like
You
we
might
said,
as well
like we
keep
said
it.
before, I expect 3 episodes max. Trish has a costume. Doesn't have to be the final
half a
Hellcat
season
costume.
in, not half a season in.
Yeah,
It needs to be within the first 2.
I'm not playing like end of the season, last episode she puts on a
you can
Hellcat
play.
costume.
This is already a few months, and she's figured shit out.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't really care. I told you out of the shows that were there, them being announced that they were canceled, like good, because 3 of them weren't good shows anyways. Like they were
not
good.
bad shows.
Let me rephrase it. They were good shows. They weren't good comic book shows, so they were really irrelevant. Like Jessica Jones series, season 2 was boring. It was nothing.
Quite boring.
It was
quite
nothing.
boring. Like I said, I expect there to be way more action. I would like them.
It's a comic book show. There absolutely.
I would like
should be
them
more
to
action.
maybe resolve the Luke Cage thing while we're at it. Like,
I mean, at
let's
least
do
within,
something.
I mean, I guess do it within Jessica Jones if you're not going to give him another season.
It's so dumb.
I mean,
it's so dumb.
Here's the thing, Netflix.
Like Daredevil
Netflix,
at least ended in a way,
which I still have to watch all 3.
Like,
I
it's
have to
not
watch
bad.
Iron Fist, Daredevil, and Punisher. So I have to watch those. But like obviously Iron Fist, like I literally have to be on drugs to watch that show just to care to watch it because it's so bad.
But it ended in such. Did I tell you how it ended? Right?
Yeah. I think
It ended in such a way that like I need to know more, but like only if it's told well. Like,
Right.
You could leave it at that, and I could be like, oh, okay, that's.
I don't know, man.
Now he shoots iron bullets. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, it's
Fist bullets.
It's I don't really care. So the fact that they announced that there was going to be another one, like the only reason there needs to be another one is for Trish. Otherwise, her story is a completely.
Because here's the thing: we resolved like how she got her powers.
Yeah, literally, Jessica Jones has been resolved. Like nobody gives a shit.
Now all she can do is get into some shit.
Yeah,
and if
literally.
she doesn't,
there's nothing else to go into.
And if she doesn't get into some shit, then what the fuck are we doing?
Nothing.
Like, oh, we're just gonna have her be a fucking private detective
She's
and
gonna,
slap people
She's
around?
gonna be a dick.
Yeah, private dick. Yep.
Yeah, private dick.
Like
literally,
I want this season to focus heavily on Trish. I want them to sneak in a resolution to Luke Cage, even a throwaway like he shows up for 2 episodes
and he becomes good.
and he's like, yeah, what had happened was like they all turned on me a week after I took over.
Yeah, kicked their ass, and I became a good guy again.
Because that's what happens when you try to control the bad guys. They turn on you. Like something simple. Like and I would even accept that. I don't even care.
Yeah.
It was like if you're gonna give her a season 3, give him a season 3 at least.
I just hope it's watchable because I'm literally the only reason I'm behind because I want to watch them in order they came out. So like I have to get through Iron Fist and I really don't want to get through
Iron Fist. 100% does take place after Luke Cage. Punisher kind of, I would say, take place at the same time as Daredevil.
Right.
Only because Karen in Punisher, because Karen does show up in Punisher.
Right. But you said even Daredevil was kind of a letdown compared to the other
Daredevil was a really good season 1 of Kingpin. Like,
yeah, it wasn't a Daredevil season.
It really wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he's never in the costume.
Right.
The bad guy who was... And they did the long game where, like, you're not supposed to know, but, like, next season they would have made him Bullseye.
Right.
But they never call him that, and they're never going to do that.
No, they're never going to do that because that shit's dumb.
But he spent time in the Daredevil costume.
Right.
Like, it was a whole lot of dumb.
It's a little weird to me, though, for Jessica Jones. Like, when they announced they canceled it, they never said, oh, but we're giving a season 3.
Right.
At least I don't remember them saying that.
I don't recall that either.
I don't
recall that either. I don't know if this was something that was already in the works, or... I don't know. It just seems weird. It seems like a weird pickup. It feels like they had the option to, and then they're just like, fuck it, let's just make one more. They were just like, hey, it doesn't say that we can't do one more season of Jessica Jones.
Listen,
let's do another season of Jessica Jones.
It ain't no Doom Patrol. It ain't no Umbrella Academy.
It's not.
So they're completely, to me, it's like whatever.
I think it's a waste of time at this point.
It is a waste of time. It's a complete waste. If you
we've
cannot
talked about this.
If you cannot tell a fun comic book story with these characters, it is a complete waste of time because they are comic book characters.
I think we should do a movie, or a movie. I'm fucking Casey Neistat over here. I think we should do a video where we just title it Dear Marvel,
right?
Future of Netflix Heroes,
right?
And just like lay out that here's how you do it,
right?
We don't want any money,
right?
Just do it.
Just do it. Just take care of it.
Just say, oh, they can't be on screen for 2 years. Cool. 2 years after Jessica Jones season 3 airs,
right?
Put on a Defender show,
right?
And have them be in all these fucking new situations. Everything's different, and then you just have these Arrow style flashbacks. The problem is like you have comic book characters, but there was nothing comic booky about it,
and that's the issue. Doom Patrol, same thing, same problem with Titans. Titans is a comic book team series. Felt nothing like a comic book team series.
What they did with those series, it felt like they took the fucking Christopher Nolan route.
Right.
They made everyone.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Like I get it. Christopher Nolan movies were great. Who the fuck cares? That's not what I want.
I don't even mean dark. I just mean like they made everyone like they're in our universe, like real versions of that.
But even in our universe, that's not what it needs to be, though. It's like Doom Patrol is in our world.
Because like in the comics,
but like their
Typhoid
world,
Mary is like when she shows up, shit is fucked up, and like she's a fighter, and like like I said, she had a couple really good moments in that show, but like at the same time, like she was just a chick.
Yeah.
Happened to have DID, like very interesting person, but like she was just a person. Yeah. She wasn't because in the costume in the comics she's got like the painted away face. She's in like a really really garish outfit.
No, I don't know. To me, they'll have to make it really. Here's the thing: will I watch it? Of course, I'll watch it because I'm a completionist. So like, I want to complete the series that's fucking still going.
Right.
But it's good if like. It's shit because I have to literally, if they make it just as bad as the last one, I literally just have to force myself to watch something just because I want to complete it.
Right.
It's not because I'm watching it because of enjoyment. And that's fucking stupid. That's dumb. And I'm one of those people that can't just stop. Like even with The Walking Dead, I stopped, not this season, but the season before, halfway in,
I think I stopped the season before that.
Right. So like I just caught up. I'm literally one episode away from finishing that season. So like I saw what's his name? Curl die. Curl. I watched Curl die, which was a good episode. But like the series is going in such a weird direction to me that like I'm gonna stop at some point. I'm gonna have to force myself to stop because
Dude, they're talking about another spinoff.
Yeah, they're talking possibly even Maggie for a spinoff.
I mean, that's fine.
Which I don't know what happens to Maggie because right now she's on Whiskey Cavalier, so I have no idea if she died or just vanished because that happens in the season I'm not watching yet. So I don't know what happened.
The last thing I saw of Maggie. What the fuck was it? She had just
given birth, I think, for you. I think for you, she might have just given birth.
I don't even think she has that.
Yeah.
I don't even think she's given birth yet.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's I'm not excited.
Don't get me wrong, this season, like I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a good season of The Walking Dead. It just for some reason it took me a long time to want to watch the final 8 episodes or whatever. It was only 16 episodes, so which was okay.
Right, but I don't know.
But so here's the thing. I know in this new season that aired this last season, I know Negan. They didn't kill Negan. I know they're trying to turn him into a good guy. But I'm like, how do you turn Negan into a good guy after he bashed in
two people's heads
that we loved? You don't turn that person into a good guy. There's no redemption for me. I don't give a... Like, they gave a sob story in one of the episodes, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
You know who else had a sob story?
Like, they
the
were
governor. The governor had a sob story.
I know. But nobody gave a shit.
No one gave a shit.
And, like, they gave Negan this stupid sob story, and I'm like, Negan's not a good guy because a good guy wouldn't enslave people and make them work like slaves instead of actually a community. He literally forces them to be slaves and to be terrified of him.
Look at
he's a tyrant.
Look at it this way.
He's not a leader.
This way. If you look at comic book heroes, comic book bad guys, you look at a Doctor Doom who has a complicated history, and that's why you can accept him as a bad guy.
Yeah.
Magneto, complicated history, you can accept him as a
he's a bad guy.
Red Skull, nope. Hardcore Nazi.
Yeah.
Red Skull is never a good guy. Why? Because he's a hardcore Nazi.
Yeah, and you don't spin that fucking bullshit out.
Nope, that's it. He's a hardcore Nazi.
Like
always
in one of the episodes, like I don't know when you'll watch it now, and you'll probably forget it. But like in this more recent episode where they kind of explain his story, kind of. They don't really. It's really explaining this other chick story. There's a chick that runs a junkyard of people, so she's there.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah,
I like her.
She's there. Shit happens with her. She captures Negan. And they get a back and forth, so like he understands her.
So the last thing I saw was when she had Rick.
Right. So now she has Negan.
Yeah, of course.
So you understand her story, and he's like telling his story. So you're supposed to feel something.
Maybe I did see that.
You didn't see this. I'm telling you, you're not at this point. You're not at this point because I know when you stopped. There's no way you've seen this. There's no way. You haven't watched Carl die. So there's no way you've watched this.
Oh, okay.
And like, I'm telling you, like, you haven't seen him. Carl's still alive, so there's no way you watched this episode. But literally, so they're trying to like play into this why he's the way he is, and I'm like, I don't care, motherfucker.
Did she have him twice then?
Maybe, I don't know. No, not Negan.
Damn it.
No. But like, I don't.
She was gonna kill him.
But like, I don't care. Yes, because Rick, for different reasons, but. It's just there's no reason. I don't give a shit what you're trying to show off. He's not a good guy. He'll never be a good guy. I will never accept him as the new leader. No, and I love the actor.
You think that's where they're gonna go with it?
Oh, I think 100%.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'm not. Once again, I haven't seen the new season, but just seeing the way they're going with this, knowing that Rick dies in the beginning of this season, this one.
In the beginning?
Yeah, he dies in like the first 3 to 5 episodes.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he's gone. He's
now you can be Australian again.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's English, motherfucker, not Australian.
Oh, I thought he was Australian.
No, he's English.
So
I don't know. Well, like I'm not gonna. That's why I want to stop. I'm gonna literally stop when Rick dies. That's gonna be the end of the series for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, what's the point? Like, I don't care. His daughter is grown up now, and she's
What?
That's how far in the future they jump after he dies.
Oh.
Yeah, after he dies, they jump up. From what I can tell, a few years, because she's one of the main characters.
It'd have to be like 10 fucking years
It has to be
for her to be a 10-year-old.
I know. So I don't know. how they're
Because
doing
that timeline is so fucked up.
it. I know.
Because there's only been like 2.5 seasons of fucking
I know.
Fear,
Yeah, I know.
but that's somehow caught up.
Yeah.
So that means there's only been
Well, because
6 months?
Because let's be serious, it doesn't matter. It's not that it's 6 months. It's just you have to realize that Fear's jumped through through years instead of like
No, they haven't.
they have. They have because
Season 1 to Season 2 was not that big of a jump.
right. They didn't show you it was that big of a jump, but it is multiple months going on in between all those episodes. That's what you have to realize. It's not days; it's months happening between.
But
episodes.
they're all continuous.
I
How's that
know,
possible?
but you just can't accept it that way. You have to accept it that it's months instead of days.
No, I think they just fucked up and they just wanted to connect them.
No, you just have to realize that it's months and not days. Like how long they're on that farm in Fear, those aren't just days. Those are months they're on that farm. Months. Like multiples of months. They're not just days there.
You talking on that island?
No, I'm talking about they're on a farm for a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why does everybody get to a farm in this fucking series?
I mean, there's a lot of farms, and they're in the south. Especially them. Those motherfuckers are like where farms are going to be everywhere.
They went through Arizona. They were in Cali.
And they left Cali, they went to Mexico, and then they ended up in Texas. Like, motherfucker, you paying attention? Like,
I guess they did it.
yeah, yeah. Farm,
I forgot they went to
farm
Mexico.
countries.
I forgot they went to Mexico.
Yeah.
And that's not a short trip, so okay, I'll give
Right.
you that. I'll give you that.
It's months. It's not days. I know it seems like days because the way they're playing it, but it's months. You just and I knew right away as soon as they were like, "Oh, this is like the shit you didn't see." I'm like, "You're gonna be able to play that out for like a fucking season, and then you have to catch up because it's gonna be just the same fucking show with different people." Like you started like where it's how it began. But like literally the next season in, it would have literally just been the same show. So you have to,
Right.
Like it just wasn't gonna work,
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Going back to Jessica Jones, we'll see. I mean, I'll have to just swallow my fucking hate for it, and it's not even hate. It's just not caring to watch the show and just watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless whoever the production company is behind that bitch, and they actually do a good job.
I don't know.
Because like season 2 of Daredevil had
I
three
feel like the
characters.
people. I feel like the people that watch those shows have, for whatever reason, a really low bar.
I believe.
I don't know
they do.
why.
I don't know why either.
I don't know why they have a low bar.
I don't
but They have a
know.
low
That's
bar.
right. But is it not the same people that watch the movies? Because
It must not be.
Because I'm like the people that
Because
watch.
guess what? If they were like, we're gonna do a, I don't know, I'm trying to think. We're gonna do a Black Widow movie,
Right.
and it's gonna be mostly like logistics at Shield.
Right. No, I know.
And then like at the end of the movie, she gets to kill a guy.
Right.
That wouldn't fly.
No, not in the movie. No.
That wouldn't
That's what I'm
fucking
saying,
fly.
yeah, because they're like they're harsh. The movie people are like harsh. So I'm like, there's
So
no way
hard, so harsh that Captain Marvel didn't make any money. Oh wait,
$1 billion. Yeah, it didn't make any money. $1 billion later, you fucking idiots.
yeah. Can you imagine what it would have made if there wasn't such a huge boycott? Probably still the same $1 billion because like the 12 dudes that didn't go see it.
Yeah, right.
Or
So stupid.
probably wouldn't have made a bigger fucking impact.
And then like the people are like, my real Captain Marvel is just coming out, and I'm like, what? No, motherfucker. I never.
And guess what? They never called him that.
I know they
and
never
they
did.
never will.
And they never will. Oh, but IMDb shows that he's Captain Marvel. Nope. IMDb is edited by regular people,
Yep.
not by the industry.
Yep.
By regular people.
They're not going to call him that.
No,
'cause they
they'll
don't want
never-
audiences to confuse.
No, and they'll never call him that due to the fucking lawsuit they lost. So, like, they'll call him Shazam till the fucking end of the day.
Right.
Like, I'm telling you, it's fucking, it's such
I wish they would have done the one fucking thing. So here's the thing. Jumon Hansu plays the wizard. And the guy who plays Korg in Guardians.
No, I know.
Okay.
What you're talking. Yeah, no.
So Jumon Hansu plays the wizard. And when he tells him, like, he's like, say my name. Like, Jumon Hansu plays the wizard. And when he tells him, like, he's like, say my name. So Jumon Hansu plays the wizard. And when he tells him, like, he's like, say my name. Like, he's like, say my name. and he says
I thought it was
and he
just
turns.
I thought it was just Zachary Levi with a beard.
Oh no, it's Jim Hansen. He's black. Like it's.
I couldn't see if he
Oh.
was black. Yeah. In the trailer, he's got his hood down. Like you can't. All you see is a long beard.
No. It's definitely Shimon Hansu, and so in the New 52 comic, the New 52 origin, like the current origin, he says like, "Say my name," and he says, "What's your name?" He says Shazam. He says Shazam, and he's like, "Say it with meaning and purpose," and that's when he turns. And I was like, if I just imagine Jimon Hansu making that argument,
Right.
of like Shazam, and then nothing happened. He's like, "Say it with meaning," right? And I was like, if he had said it, it would have been so dope.
I
Like,
mean, it would have, but yeah.
I just
I just don't understand. I don't understand this fucking dumb, stupid hate. Like, she's not Captain Marvel. He's my real Captain Marvel. I'm like, it's a comic book fucking movie. You should be just happy there's comic book movies. Because in all honesty, if Marvel didn't do what they did, we probably wouldn't have comic book movies. Because the Batmans were fucking awful until Christopher Nolan. Like, even X-Men were in fucking tight spandex black ones. All of them.
they were in leather.
Leather. I'm sorry, leather.
Leather.
They were
They were
tight
black
leather.
It was
Leather.
it was a BDSM movie.
Yeah, so that's exactly what it was.
It was a BDSM movie.
So like to be
Blade.
but that was such a like no other movie accomplished that.
They went from Blade to X-Men,
And even
and that's why they went to
and-
X-Men that way,
yeah, and Blade
because Blade was dark.
and Trinity. What was it? Trinity.
Blade Trinity.
What was it?
Blade Trinity.
It was just Trinity.
Yeah.
Blade Trinity. That was an awful movie.
No.
That was an awful movie. Even Ryan Reynolds says it's an awful movie.
No.
Yeah, he makes fun of it. He literally there was a.
That's fine. It wasn't a great film.
It was an awful movie.
No.
Yeah.
I had fun.
I mean, you had fun, but it's a bad movie. The guy that plays Dracula doesn't. I even like him, Dominic whatever Purcell. I like him as an actor in TV shows.
He was written terribly.
Bad Dracula. Fucking Wesley Snipes threw that fucking whole role in. Like
That's
was
true.
not.
That
That
was-
was not
that
the
was a-
same
that was a
fucking
bad
Blade
year.
that was in the first Blade.
That was a bad year for Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes threw that bitch in. From what I understand, he wasn't even in 90% of the shots. They were all like,
half the shots where he's fucking stuck.
yeah, like it's a bad movie. Sure, you enjoyed it, but it's
I really
movie.
liked Hannibal King. I really liked Jessica Biel's character.
but it's still a bad movie.
Yeah. What I really wanted from that movie was to do what it was supposed to do. To launch a fucking Darkstalker series.
Right. But it
Like-
wasn't gonna, not with that movie.
It could have.
It could've.
Because they still did a Blade show.
Well, I know, and that didn't last that
And
long.
that was technically a follow-up.
It
was supposed to be the same
It
Blade.
was, yeah.
Which I would have been fine with, but like, just make it the Darkstalker show.
But it lasted maybe a season.
Those two.
Whatever.
So-
Regardless.
Yeah, but like it was Sticky Fingers. Like, he's not a great actor. He's just not.
No.
Like,
The show wasn't good anyways. Listen, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens with Jessica Jones. It'll
We'll see.
probably be bad. I mean, season 1 wasn't good.
I'm expecting a B.
I'm expecting C minus.
C minus, you think? Okay.
Here's the
This
thing.
last season was
Here's-
definitely a C.
Here's the thing.
It passes. but
Here's the
barely.
thing. Is it a good drama show? Sure. That's not a comic book show for me.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that.
I've watched plenty of drama
There's
shows.
lots of drama. There's
Yeah.
too much drama on TV.
Yeah, I watch a lot of drama shows. That's not what I want out of a comic book
Right.
show. Like, that's fine. You want to make it a little bit more drama, sure, but I still want a comic book show, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't it.
Yeah.
So
Facts.
if you make it anything but a comic book show, I'm just gonna be bored out of my fucking mind.
Facts.
Because I'm gonna be like, oh, she has superpowers that she's not using. That's good. It's a good show.
We talked about this. Like, you have all these throwaway bad guys that you could be punching through walls all the time.
Yeah.
That kind of effect is not expensive. Like,
No, not at all. Not even the least bit. Throwing somebody through a drywall, that shit's cheap.
yeah, no.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
I there is way more potential to be had there, and they're just they're not doing it.
Listen, if a CW can do it like Arrow, I'm pretty sure Netflix and fucking Marvel can pull it off. So,
Dude, fuck CW. Before there was a YouTube Premium, Rocket Jump did Video Game High School.
Yeah.
Great fucking effects. Great, like, everything.
For the time.
I think it stands up.
I watched it quite a few years after it released, and
But I mean, like, for a non-major production.
yeah, for a non-major production, that's what I'm saying.
I think, like,
For
I wouldn't
something that
expect anything.
doesn't have-
I think I wouldn't expect anything more
Right.
from anyone right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Even with modern
saying
tech.
for something that didn't have money behind it.
It didn't
yeah.
have, like, a team of 40 fucking,
money behind
VFX
it.
people.
Yeah, it didn't have money behind it.
Like-
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't care for it. I honestly, like, when they announced they canceled, I was like, whatever. We were both a little perturbed by it, by not having what happens to Trish. But, like, literally, that was the only thing that mattered.
Right.
We didn't give a shit about Jessica Jones.
It's just, she's not.
So as long as the
she's
whole
not
season's
a good
about
character on
Trish,
that show.
No.
Which is kind of sad because it's her
sad.
show.
Yeah, it's sad. It is
Yeah.
what it is. But speaking of creating a YouTube,
Yeah.
why don't we
Close.
talk?
It was an okay-
It was
transition.
okay segue. We're part of this group, and it's not gonna be. We're not gonna name the group. We're part of this group.
Here's the thing, and I think it is a good group. I think it is.
I think it has its
useful.
potential.
I think it definitely has potential.
I think at some point it was useful. I think
I
the
think
problem is there's too many people now in the pie. Type of deal. Because it's
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks. Yeah, too many cooks. And essentially what it is like, one side of it is people asking the same fucking question without just searching the entire group to see that
Or
question was
searching
asked.
the internet.
Yeah,
Just-
but
Like,
that
I-
question
I-
was asked. Each question that gets asked every month has been asked every month.
Here's the
So
thing.
like
here's
the fact that you can't find the answer.
Here's the thing. For practical things, like, I get wanting, like, personal experience recommendations.
Right.
If you say, hey, I'm looking for, like, somebody, like, my wife was looking for
Right.
a karaoke place
Yeah.
last week
Yeah.
because our friend of
Yeah.
ours was in from out of town.
Yeah.
And she was like, does anyone know of a karaoke place that
Right.
does karaoke on Thursdays
Yeah.
that is not too busy but is also, like, not dead?
Right.
And one of her now former Facebook friends, which is telling, was like, just Google it. There's hundreds of places. Right, that's not the point.
Right.
I want personal information.
Personal information.
If somebody was like, hey, I want to go buy comics, I'll be like, yeah, you want to go to Jason.
Right.
You want to go to that place because I know him. I know he's going to take care of you.
Right.
I wouldn't be like, oh, just find a comic book shop.
Right. Because anybody can find a comic.
But
or
like
whatever.
But like hands-on, like products.
Right. My
Which is better, the A7 III or the M50?
Yeah, for sure.
There's 1,000 YouTube videos.
Well, there's 1,000 YouTube. Like, here's the thing.
And, like-
There's 1,000 YouTube videos. When it comes down to equipment questions, if there isn't a YouTube video for a comparison, then you're not looking right. Because I assure you, I mean, I looked up the fucking 8X, and the first thing that came out was 8X versus the new iPhone, the XR.
Right.
And I'm like,
Is the 8X the newest?
no, it's not. That's what's funny. But
That's
6 months
that's
ago,
funny.
right? But 6 months ago, somebody did how good is the 8X of Huawei, which is a $240 phone, against the new fucking iPhone, which is
$240 not bad.
No, which is $1,400. The
You should
new
buy it.
iPhone.
You should buy it.
I know, right? So it's kind of just dumb to ask questions that are clearly, like, the answers are there.
The
and
answers
they're
are available.
and they're even more available. They're even better available than asking somebody to type out their opinion.
Right. And
Like, you
and-
have actual physical proof on how good a quality a piece of gear is.
Right. Again, it's one thing to ask for personal recommendations because at some
Sure.
level, like on your friends list on
Sure,
Facebook,
yeah.
you can trust those people
Right.
to a degree,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
If I was to ask you, hey, what do you think of this
Right.
camera? I trust your opinion.
Right. But, like,
If I
here's-
ask a group of strangers,
right? That's the problem.
what the
You're
fuck does
asking a group of
anyone's
strangers.
opinion
Right.
matter to me?
Right. You're asking
Like-
a group of strangers, and even if you say, oh, well, they're not just strangers, they're in the same field, we have the same passion, okay, cool. But now you have 50 answers to your one questions. How are you going to pick now?
Right.
You're going to go on YouTube and,
you have-
look it up.
Right, and then
Yeah.
you also have people like we looked it up, and it was like this, like it was like this like old ass Panasonic or the M50.
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
was like
yeah,
this Panasonic all day, and I was like, what?
Right.
And we went in and we looked at comparisons
right,
on
we
YouTube,
looked at comparisons.
and we're just like, it's not even in the same class. Like, why would you even say that this is a better
Or
camera?
it's not a better camera. Not necessarily it's not in the same. It might be in the same class, but it's clearly not a better camera.
Right.
So it's kind of dumb. So yeah, it's so at one, it's questions being asked that are already been not only answered on that page,
Right.
Every month, literally every month since we've joined, the same questions that keep
Yeah.
getting asked every month.
M50 or A6500.
Right, like are continuously answered
Right.
every month. Then on top of that, you have on the other side people trying to tell you how to be a creator, how to grow successfully on YouTube, even though they haven't grown successfully
Right.
on YouTube.
And that's the thing.
Like, to me, it's like if you have 100,000 plus subscribers and your
Right.
viewership is close to like half of that as viewers, you're doing good. You're successful.
And I will take your
right, and now you
I
can
will take
throw
your
in your input.
Hey,
on,
this is what I've done.
Here's what I've done.
I've
Here's
got-
what I've noticed. Here's what it is. This
Right.
is all natural. Like, this is not
Right,
some
and
BS.
you got potentially, let's even say best case scenario,
Right.
which is what I've just heard recently. I watched this woman, Sunny. She's got a really long last name. It's Italian,
Right.
But she does this like coaching YouTube
Sure,
show.
yeah, yeah.
And she's got someone who's in her 100K club, as she
Right.
said. This woman, client of hers, reached 100,000 subscribers in 10 months.
Right.
So let's say even best case scenario, you did everything right, and in 10 months you got to that number. You now have 10 months of experience
Right.
and numbers
Yeah.
and trends to look at and be like, hey, this is what I
Right.
have experienced,
Yeah.
and I get that.
Yeah.
When someone comes on and says, hey, I don't even know what that noise was.
I don't know. Just keep going. Man. That was weird.
When someone comes on that said, I just started a new channel,
Right.
I have 2 months in,
Right.
and these are the rules,
Right.
and this is how you become successful.
yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Here's the thing.
And it's their new channel.
Right.
Their main channel is at about 1,000 subscribers,
Right.
or the sub count's
Right.
hidden.
Right.
Well, if you're able to rack up 30,000 subscribers in a month, why don't you do that for your main channel?
Right. What does that sound?
I think it's Amazon telling me that my stuff is here.
Oh, okay. The problem is it's people that are reaching 1,000, 2,000 subscribers and they assume they're successful. To me, that's not success. Great, you got 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. That means nothing to me.
Even
How's
if you
your
have
viewership?
30,000
How's
subscribers
your
in a
viewership?
month,
Right.
that's a fluke, my friend.
Right, and
If you can
even
take, even
but
if you have a viral video, and let's say you did get
Right.
that viral hit, and you got 30,000 genuine
Sure,
subscribers, tell me in 6 months how you rode that wave.
right,
Hey, this is the video I made.
Right.
It hit.
Right.
Which was awesome.
Right.
This is what I did
No, and I
afterwards to
agree, and I
maintain or
agree.
grow.
Yeah, no, and I agree. The other problem is like, there's only one legit rule. So the problem is people see, and we've talked about this. People see somebody like Casey Neistat, whose videos are revolved around his life.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, I want that to be me. Well, here's the thing: what you got to understand, Casey Neistat's life has already been interesting.
Yeah,
When
before
he
he got to
started-
YouTube,
Yeah.
he had already sold a TV show to fucking HBO.
Right, exactly. So
Like,
you can't compare.
he already
what
did
you-
some filmmaking shit.
Right, exactly. You can't compare what you see with Casey Neistat to be like, I want that. Because the reason Casey Neistat videos kicked off was his life is interesting. On top
His life
of,
is interesting.
On top
He had
of,
really interesting ideas before
right,
he started
on
a vlog.
top of that, every day he made a short film.
Yeah.
You,
And not
if
like
you
not
don't-
like in the cutesy way of like I make films.
Yeah, yeah.
No. He made
Production.
an actual film.
Right.
He had a storyline in every single one. Like
exactly. So if you're pulling in and you're like, well, I'm going to be like Casey Neistat, I'm going to be important. You got to understand, when Casey Neistat started his daily vlogging, he was in South Africa.
and he was also already important.
Right, he was
because he already had like
right,
7
Yeah, he did bike
breakaway
lanes.
hits.
Yeah, like he was already
already had
at
viral hits.
500,000 subscribers. It took forever to get to that, but he had breakaway hits like bike lanes and all these other videos that he subject based. But then he decided to go daily. He was already in South Africa, and his life was already interesting. So it's not like he made his life interesting to do daily vlogs. His life was already interesting.
And to be fair, he also had a purpose for starting a daily vlog.
Exactly.
He was documenting his process with building a company.
So stuff like I want to be Casey Neistat. That's not easy. I want to be Peter McKinnon. That's not easy.
Easier.
It's easier, sure, because it's more of a niche. It's information. But Peter McKinnon isn't he's a wide niche. He's not a, like, for instance, I know what would grow my channel, right? At this point, I know, and this is fact for anybody who wants to grow fast. There's a niche, and there's a really fucking tight niche.
Yeah.
So there's
my
channel is
There's
automotive.
right.
That's a very wide niche, but it's a niche.
Yeah.
However, me doing modifications on a 9th gen Honda Accord, which grows the channel fast, if I could just keep throwing that money at it, not at the videos, but just at the modifications, would literally boost me through the roof with subscribers.
Yep.
Would literally do it. But the problem is I don't have the money to keep throwing at my Honda Accord at the time.
Right.
Or at the moment. So yes.
Just like you had Supercars of London, which is a very, very specific thing. It's literally called Supercars of London.
But now everybody trying to release supercar videos, it doesn't do it. Because, it's a niche, but that's not a tight niche anymore.
Not at all.
Because everybody's doing it.
Right.
But so
if you wanted to say, I'm going to do a channel just about Porsches.
So am I saying something that we just argue like, oh, I'm not successful, but I'm like, but I've seen the numbers. I know right now if I could take, I don't know, let's say give me a 10 grand to throw in at my Honda Accord and make all the different videos I would make with that, those modifications, those videos would hit so hard that it would literally boost me to a worthwhile channel. But that is a significant and very tight niche. Now, not all channels need that much money, but because of the niche that I am going into, I do.
Right, like if I wanted to start talking about...
But Peter McKinnon has been doing photography for years. We're talking about years before
I just watched him talking to Sarah Dici on her podcast about his video career, and he started... This is probably one of the best conversations I saw.
Well, he's done a video about how he started.
Yeah, but I mean,
he started in his backyard, taking a fucking literally a point and shoot camera, trying to figure out cool ways to take pictures of grass.
Right.
So that man's been doing
exactly.
So that man's been doing this shit for years before he decided to say, "Hey, I can give advice."
And even that before then he was into something else, which he's still into, which is magic.
Magic.
He was working at State Farm. As a phone operator, and he said they had a fire drill.
Right.
And he faked being sick because right there he was just scrolling on the internet because they were standing outside.
Right.
He saw that David Blaine was doing some shit in New York.
Right.
So he faked being sick right there on the spot and left.
Right.
And called his cousin and said, "Yo, let's go to New York to watch this fucking dude." Met fucking David Blaine, got VIP access, fucking met Donald Trump of all people, and just for going. Because he was interested in magic. He was like, it'd be cool to just go and see it live versus watch it later.
Yeah.
And he decided, I'm just going to go now.
Right.
And they didn't have a place to stay. They sorted it out once they got there.
Right. But he wanted to go do it.
Right. Because he followed something that was passionate.
Yeah.
He was passionate about. I think that's the biggest thing is that people
people
get this idea of follow something you're passionate about and they think well, I'm going to do that by doing a vlog. Well, you need to figure out what you're doing the vlog about. Again, it's one thing to do a vlog. It's a whole other thing to do a vlog about the thing you're doing.
Right.
I see a
when
lot
I do my vlogs, they're very heavy automotive based.
Yeah.
There's some...
And that's why you sometimes don't have a vlog that comes out every
week.
week.
I haven't released... I've literally been in a downward spiral because I'm mad at myself that I don't have content, but at the same time, I'm like...
You're not just going to put out shit.
I'm not going to put out a vlog of me talking because to me that's boring. To me, that's not a good video.
Some people can only do that, huh?
Right, but yours are vlogs about just your days.
And that's right, and that's all, and that's for me.
Where your main channel is tech reviews and tech stuff.
My vlogs are very much straight documented.
Right.
It's not about. I literally just this week decided to do a little more creative stuff with it.
Right.
By literally adding a time lapse every day.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't really care about.
Because that's not your focus.
Right,
Your
I'm not trying to
focus is
like
the
get
main
big
channel.
on the vlog.
Right.
Like if the vlog blows up,
Right.
awesome. But like
Exactly.
at the same time, I don't care if it does.
Right.
The vlog is just for me to keep in practice and constantly do stuff.
Making editing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, 100%.
So like versus like and to kind of keep a story in mind, like when I'm doing stuff, when
Right.
I'm out, like do I film something? Do I not film
Right.
something? And then like at the end of the week when I look at it when I'm editing, I'm like, man, like cooler shit happened that day.
Right.
Like, where was my mind at
Right.
that I didn't record it?
Yeah.
So like to say like when we were doing the podcast,
Yeah.
I said we just did the podcast. And the shot before that was from the previous
Yeah,
day
yeah.
when I was like, I don't know if we're gonna do the podcast today because
Right,
his wife's
right.
in the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, there was way better ways to show that.
Right.
So that's just me keeping in practice. That's
Yeah.
all that is for me. And like the T3G is where all the cool shit is coming out,
Right.
where the production shit is
Right.
coming out. Like that just is what it is.
No,
like
it's
to
100%.
me,
And
to me, it's about storytelling. Like that's my
And that goes-
my focus
and
is
that
me
goes-
telling story.
right, and that
that's
goes
why
back-
I started doing the reviews differently.
Right.
I don't care about pans on a table. I just
Right.
don't. Like I have
Right.
no interest in doing it.
Right, right.
That's why I didn't do any pans on this week's tech video.
Right.
I was like, I could do pans of the Pixel or the Pixel 2. Pixel.
Pixel?
I could do pans of the Pixel 2, but why? There's 1,000 fucking reviews from 2 years ago when
Right.
it came out.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this thing.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to tell you why this thing's still
100%.
good.
Yeah.
And that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just like, I've gotten some of the best comments on the Yi
Yeah,
video.
yeah, I saw that.
Like,
yeah.
that's so fucking dope.
Right.
Because I was like, we're gonna go and do this thing with this camera.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
100%.
Like versus like, here's pans, here's the menus, here's the buttons.
No, I mean,
You
I
can
100%
find that
agree.
elsewhere. Like I don't
No,
want to show you the
I 100% agree.
how
the
I use
problem,
it.
The problem, once again, the problem is people watch stuff like Casey Neistat and they were like, oh, the guy's doesn't have a niche, he's just vlogging. Yeah,
Right.
but he's vlogging in such a way that nobody does.
But look and even look at what happened. He was doing
But even he
was
stopped.
doing
Yeah.
Beam.
Yeah,
He got bought out, slowed down.
Right.
Beam got closed.
right,
Well, he quit.
right.
He basically stopped doing vlogs for like 2
Right.
months. And was just like, hey, I was just spending some time with the family.
But not, even now, he's not doing
It's
it.
way less often.
Like his last, he did a video with that guy that makes money, like the guy that has like these ridiculous videos where like he gives random Twitch.
Mr. Beast.
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
Fucking
So
love
he did
that
that
dude.
video. The video before that was 2 weeks from that.
He just did a video today.
Yeah.
Of how he gets
Right.
free upgrades.
Right. So at the end of the day, like even he stopped because he knew he still had an idea. He's like, my life's interesting. I can make these fun, badass mini films essentially of my daily
Yeah.
life. And then when I know that I'm gonna grow because this is gonna hit, I'm gonna push the other idea that I'm really focusing on, which is Beam. Then after that, it was 368. Hey, and he even said it. Now I'm doing now I can do daily videos again because I'm focusing on 368. He came back with a video explaining that. And now he stopped because
Right.
368 is a thing now. He doesn't have to keep pushing it. So now everybody's talking about 368. He's like, all right, well, now I don't have to do daily content again.
I wanna if I had the money
And to be fair,
the time,
and-
I would go to New York and just like hit him up and be like, yo, can you use the space?
And to be fair,
Just to test
even,
it.
to be fair, even he got boring to me because at some point it was the same thing every day.
Right.
Him going through New York, making a
runs.
flashy video,
He runs.
making a flashy video as he does, it got boring. That's why I don't want Mighty Car Mods. They're one of my guys that I always look up to and I love their videos. Not all of them. Some of them are like kind of throwaway videos and I think even they know it. But when they make videos, especially the big ones, they make them to make sure when they come out, people are like, we fucking love that.
Right.
Not like, we should make daily content because they will never do that.
And even Casey does that, which, like, while he was doing daily vlogs, he also had these bigger videos in mind.
Yeah.
That's why every once in a while,
Like
every 6
Christmas
months,
videos,
Christmas
Samsung
videos, but like even that, but like I mean like the Vietnam video that he had
Right,
with his son, which
right.
was like he had filmed it like 2 years earlier. It was just taking
I
forever.
think it was longer than that.
It was just taking forever to
Yeah.
edit, right?
Yeah.
Like there was all these big projects. I mean, that's the same thing for me. Is I've been recording a fucking documentary for the last 12 years that I didn't realize I was fucking recording.
Right.
And now I'm just like, I want to frame it. I want to make it this really big thing.
Right.
And it's going to take a while.
It is going to take
Like,
a while.
it's going to be, but when it comes out, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
you know, like,
100%.
that's where my head is at.
The thing for me is that I started out making videos with you with the tech stuff. I liked it, but I wasn't 100% there, right? I enjoyed the fact that I was making videos, I was creating, and I like tech.
Right.
But not as much as I love cars. So I started doing car stuff. The videos were shit. I thought they were decent. They were complete shit. But I got better and better to the point where I'm getting people that say, want to do video stuff for this trip that I'm going on, and I want you to be part of it.
Yeah.
Like, because I got better at something that I personally wanted to get better at.
100%.
So,
dude, it's the same. It's the same way on the flip side. Like, I used to make way more car videos.
but at the same
Like-
time, don't get me wrong, doing it daily, not a smart idea.
It's hard.
Quantity
It's fucking hard.
is great, but not in the sense of daily quantity. Quantity a week, quantity every 2 weeks, that's fine. If you wait 2 months, you're getting a little further, especially if you're doing
not
free content that's about something you enjoy. You should try to figure out how to release a video at least once a month, so that way you're constantly learning. You're learning new ways. I would say even once every 2 weeks. So you're learning how to
Right.
do different kinds of shots, how to change up the videos,
Right.
how to make each video feel similar but different at the same time,
And
get better.
I
Get
would
better
even say
at holding camera.
It wouldn't be bad to go once every 2 months, but as long as you're active on something else.
Right, as long as
if you're on Instagram and you have a following on Instagram that you're building and you're sharing,
Sure.
let's say if it's cars, you're sharing
Yeah.
photos of cars,
Right.
you're sharing short clips of
Right.
cars, and then like every 2 months you just put out like a 10-minute video.
Right, absolutely.
And it's been 2
but
months
you
of
have
production.
to, but you have to. Right, it wasn't like
It wasn't like
finally-
you did a weekend show
Right.
and you put it out on Sunday.
Right,
Like-
exactly.
Like
You actually took 2 months to produce this
right.
this video. So there is such thing as quantity in the sense of how much you release to get better, to continue to learn a skill. But there is also such thing as like, I want to release daily, but then your videos are nothing but you talking to a camera.
Right.
That's not hard.
Right.
So sure, that's just documenting, but like if you're trying to grow a skill, that's not a.
That's why when I did daily, I was super obsessed with like having a
Don't
time
get me
lapse
wrong.
every time.
Is there an
having-
audience for somebody to watch you talk all the time?
Sure.
Sure, but
dude,
that's not something.
Real talk. I like to hear myself talk, and I watch last week's video was just me talking, and I'm just like, this is fucking boring.
Right.
So I literally I added fucking like star wipes and shit just to like have something different.
Right?
Like,
to make it.
I was
feel
just like, that's
different.
why this week I was like, I'm gonna literally as I was taking out the nails.
Yeah.
I put the camera on. I just
Yeah.
did a time lapse
Right.
of me doing it. That's gonna be my transition between days.
I would say, I mean, once again, I'm not a big YouTuber. It's not like I am successful in any way, but there are things that I've already realized. One is becoming better at the craft,
Yeah.
and when you do, you might feel successful in a different way because people notice you're better at the craft,
Yeah.
and then they start asking you to do work.
End of the day, yeah, exactly. It's
Like
very much
I've
that. You
literally
look at somebody,
been hired. I've literally been hired without advertising to do work because they've seen what I've been doing.
100%. Dude, look at somebody like our buddies over at HCT Media. Like they are Emmy award winners. They just put out a feature
Right.
film.
They're not Emmy. Like we were just kind of making fun. They're not Emmy award. They were part of an Emmy award winning team.
They are Emmy
They
award
are the
win-
team
they,
that won Emmy.
They are Emmy
awards.
award winning directors.
Yeah, they are the team that
they-
created the
they-
Emmy award thing.
On a whim, on a fucking whim.
Right.
They were out shooting for Karen Gillan's movie.
Right.
And while they were doing that, they needed pickup for not a rival, but something else that she was in.
Right.
And they essentially they got called as second unit directors just because they were available.
Yeah.
And they already had their because
But
like
they
when you work overseas, like you have
Yeah,
paperwork
sure.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So they're already there.
Yeah.
They already had their paperwork done.
Right.
So they were just like, hey, you guys are available. You're there. Let's just do it.
Right.
So like they ended up
But they
working.
wouldn't have been approached.
But
if
their
people
YouTube
didn't-
channel is not
No, it's not
rich
big.
with content.
Right.
It's not
but
huge
it's good
subs.
content.
Right.
So all somebody
Exactly.
has to do is
Exactly.
see the content they released,
I
how much
watched
work is put into it.
the first
and they're like,
video
oh
they
shit,
put out.
that's good. I should probably
First-
call these guys.
The first film they put out is a stop motion, paper. Maybe not paper. I actually forget what it's. What
But
they
it's
make.
stop
But they're
motion.
like dolls.
Sure.
It's all puppets.
Right.
Puppetry. That's the word
Yeah.
I'm looking for. It's a puppet movie. The story's really interesting. It was done so well that there's literally one shot where I realized it was like actual puppets on strings because
Right.
there was one shot where you could see a string.
Right.
Otherwise, like I genuinely don't remember a shot where there were strings in it.
Sure.
But I know they're puppets.
Right.
But the story was really interesting.
Just-
it was actually somewhat similar to the idea in Alita, which is actually
Right.
now that I've seen Alita,
Yeah.
like have more of a context. Like it's very similar conceptually.
Right.
But like really dope, and it was just they did it because they wanted to do it.
Yeah, it goes back into creating. If you're creating to be popular, you're doing it wrong.
100%.
If you're creating to be a good content creator, that's the difference. Yeah, you might not grow fast, but if you at the end of the day are satisfied when you sit down, you're like, man, I made for my first video or my third video, man, I made a really good video.
Yeah.
Good. Continue that.
That's
Stop
what you should be
focusing-
chasing.
Stop focusing like, I want to be popular. I want to be big. I'm going to release a video every day about me talking to the camera.
That's what you should be chasing. You should be chasing that sense of accomplishment.
Right.
Not a number.
And
Not-
no, your channel should not be about you giving advice. You have no advice to give. Like that's not what
but no. I mean, on YouTube, you know what I mean?
Right, that's
if
what
you
I'm
have
saying.
advice
Oh,
to give
sure.
about other shit,
Sure, of
if you are
course,
really
yeah.
like you yourself, I think you could do a fitness channel if you wanted
But
to.
even then, right?
But you could present,
I
but
get
from the
what
position
you're
where you're at,
saying.
like
I get what you're
you've
saying.
had successes,
Right.
you're still on a journey,
Right.
but you could share that
No, and
information.
I understand that, but the problem
Whereas,
is,
like I could
right?
not.
But that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, though. And I get what you're saying with that. But that's when I look at majority of these people, especially commenting on that place, they're not at
No,
anything.
no.
All they
I
are is
see
like,
a
how do I get big?
I see, yeah, and I see a lot of people.
And
they're
then like,
here's the thing: there's nothing wrong with celebrating small victories, celebrating 200 subscribers, celebrating these
Sure.
little numbers.
Yeah.
Hey, it took us a fucking long ass time to get 200 subscribers,
yeah,
but guess what? It's not what you should be looking for.
no, not at all.
If that's the number, if that's the bar you're going for, if that's your success
Right.
indicator,
Right.
you're gonna fucking screw yourself.
Yeah.
You're screwing yourself because you're gonna get to a point where you're like, I'm stuck at 500. Like, why is it not going up? Like, I put out videos all the time. Like, you need to. It needs to be about something more. It
Yeah.
needs to be about something else
Right,
besides
that's why
just
when
the vlog.
That's why when I knew I wanted. I called you a long time ago. First of all, we knew what we wanted when we were kids,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about kids. I'm talking about 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds. We sat down. We lived in apartment buildings. We would sit on the stairs of the apartment buildings, and we would just talk. And we always knew what we wanted, and that just continued down the road. Finally. it
To be
was
fair,
like-
I still don't think that's going to be legal, like genetic experimentation.
yeah,
trying to
okay,
create
that's
superheroes.
fine. I'm talking about the other shit though. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about legitimately other shit that we talked about, like
Yeah.
being creators, being somebody who creates something. And then in about like it was 2009, 2010, I called you and I said, we have this company.
Oh, nice.
What do we need to do to make this a thing? Because I was sick and tired of working for somebody. But I still didn't know what I was gonna benefit for the company. Like I didn't know how I was gonna be beneficial.
Right.
Like I knew I wanted to create, but I didn't know what that was. I used to draw, but I'm not an artist. I don't draw. I'm a mimic. Like I can mimic. It's not even copy. It's not like we're tracing. It's not.
Right.
It wasn't tracing because I wasn't tracing. Put a paper over it and
Right.
I literally mimicked artwork. So I knew I wasn't going to be that kind of artist. I knew I wasn't somebody that was able to make music. It's just something that
Tell you
wasn't
what
there.
though, mimics get better. Mimics get really
No,
good
I
over
understand.
time.
I understand, but
There's a few mimics in
but
the
still,
industry right now.
right? But still, at the end of the day, I knew that wasn't a thing. But then finally, one day before we started a tech channel, I was like, man, I always used to grab the camera, even if it was a film camera with interchangeable lenses, and I would just, it wasn't even working. It wasn't like there was no battery, there was no film, but I would fuck around like just like acting like I'm recording. And I said to myself, I'm like, that's it. Why don't we like I was watching Linus at the time. I was like, we could do this. We could make videos. Why aren't we not doing something like this? And I'm like, and YouTube's a thing. It doesn't cost anything to put videos on YouTube.
Yep.
Like, we don't need Hollywood to make videos. So I was like, let's start a tech channel. And then we got us three together. My nephew was already making videos at the time.
If you don't know, if you are watching or listening to the podcast and you don't know, T3G originally stood for those three
it
guys.
still stands for those three guys. It's just
Like,
there's
it
not.
still does. It
it's
just says-
the three guys are very.
It's loose.
It's very loose because like the only thing I do now when it comes down to the channel is this podcast stuff. The other guy, he's very not even around at the moment for anything.
He's in a different state.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's in a different, but I mean, just in general, he hasn't created anything for the channel, for
No,
Instagram.
he's gonna be a new wave. He's gonna be a new wave designer, man. He's on some next level shit.
Yeah,
man.
right?
The shit he's doing,
Right.
is the shit I see people like doing elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't get it.
I don't
I'm
get
not
it.
in that headspace.
No, me neither. But
But it looks cool.
he's doing it.
Like,
Yeah, he's doing
like
it.
I don't.
So like I knew that was gonna be a thing. We did it for a while, but I was like, still something's missing. Like I'm doing these videos, but something is still not there. And then like I was like, man, I love cars. Why don't I make, and like my first ever video on YouTube was a drift video of Hot Import Nights in 2009. And I was like, why don't I just, like, I loved when I released that video in 2009, I was like, fucking, I remember the feeling. And then I was like, well, why don't I just keep making fucking videos about that, the thing I love, the thing I know I love.
100%.
And I started doing it, and every time I release something, if it's a vlog or something specific, I always feel good when I release it because I'm like, that's the best way I could have made that without so much effort being put into it, like without having to sit down for at least a month and script out how I want things to happen or look, not even just scripting words, but just how I want it to all play out. And that's kind of where you start, and then you start like, it's literally on demand thing. So like, oh, I'm here, I want a shot, this sounds really good right now, grab the camera, get this shot. Like it plays on demand now, so that way if you are in a moment or a job where you don't have time to script out how you want everything to work out, you can start already hitting it in your head because that's how you build it over time. You start doing this stuff and it just kind of builds over time on, oh, I have my regular stuff that I know how to do, but what if I add this to it? Let's just do that. Let's add this to it, get this shot, and see how it works.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, so if anything, these groups are great, but you only have so much you can. I've been doing it for years now, and I've seen how I've gotten better. So I can give you tips on how to get better at maybe editing, give you tips at how to do some shots,
right.
how to change it up, how to be more of a director. I can even give you a very basic way of really growing a channel. Like I mentioned earlier, for me, I could blow up if I could throw in mods on one specific car.
Right.
That channel would be destroyed with views and subscriptions if I could do that, if I had the money flow to do that. But that's just very one thing that I can give you information on. If you're looking to do something else, I can't give you advice on that because I don't know the answer. Even other creators, even somebody like Casey Neistat says, it's a luck game sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there's so many creators that you being hit with an audience.
400 hours plus every minute are uploaded
Right.
on YouTube.
So like
that's a lot of fight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fight.
It is.
Like, I get 20 views, I get 40 views.
And you have to stand out. You have to stand out. You
have to stand out.
If you wanted to be around yourself, you want it better be edited to a point where when somebody watches it,
it's got to be
like,
incredible editing.
Fuck.
It's got to be incredible editing and incredible storytelling.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're just dicking around and like it's your day,
yeah, because you
again,
have to.
I have no illusion about my vlog.
Right.
The vlog is just documentation for me. I don't care.
You gotta understand, people's attention span is shit nowadays.
Yeah.
So you have to capture that as good as possible.
Like, I get 10, 20 views on the vlog. Let's say 5 are ours.
Right.
I get 10 views. Dope.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right.
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Right, exactly.
Like, I'm sharing my journey.
Right.
I sometimes talk about the company, like what we're doing, what we're working on.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Like, for me, it's going to be one of those things. I'm gonna be able to be like that was the day.
Right.
Like, that was the mentality change.
We're already doing stuff outside of the videos that we already released.
Yeah.
I have a documentary I've been wanting to release or work on for my channel in a long time. And all I keep doing is when I'm not making a video for the channel at the time, I'm thinking about how that's going to play out. I'm thinking about, here's how I'm going to do things. Here's what I want. Here's what I needed to do. That type of stuff. Even with our channel T3G, we're creating a comedy-based series, and we keep thinking of things that we want to add or the way we want it done.
Yeah.
So that way, when it's released,
because
it's fun.
Because let's be real, we sat down and we scripted out the whole first 6 episodes, and
Right.
we were done, quote unquote, right?
Done. But like,
But
yeah, sure, we
ever
can
since
record
then,
it.
ever since then, it's like
Here's something new.
Kind of fast.
Right.
I kind of want to flesh it out a bit.
Right.
Like, when you get to this last episode and this thing happens, you're kind of like, does that make sense?
Right.
It's fleshing out the story.
There is such thing, like, so a lot of people in this group, and we've seen this a lot, is even on YouTube, we've seen it a lot. Oh, just release. Sure, to an extent.
And you could.
To an extent.
Yeah, and you could.
You could just release.
We could have filmed it a long time ago. We could have done it in, we could have picked a wall in my house or your house, and that's going to be our hallway scene.
But
we have access to an office space.
Right.
We're going to talk to them, so we have a proper space,
Exactly.
a proper set. Now it looks better.
Right.
Now it's higher production quality.
Right. We want it to be done, but we wanted to feel good.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, could we have makeshift stuff to work? Yeah, but if you're not happy with it,
Yeah.
then you're literally just releasing for the sake of releasing, and that's bad. Because if you're not satisfied with the thing you've created, that's dumb. Because then why would somebody else be satisfied?
Facts.
Why would somebody watching and be like, "Oh, I was satisfied with that"? Why? You weren't.
Right.
So it's one of those things. Like, yes, there is such thing as just released. There is such thing as, like, it'll never be perfect, but it can be damn near close to it.
Right.
Like, we're human beings, we're not perfect, so yes, we're not gonna make a perfect product, but it can be damn near close. So if we have things that we want to adjust to make it better, we're gonna adjust that.
Right.
We'll make it as good as we can. Some things we release. We release tech reviews. We release gaming stuff.
I've done tech reviews where I'm kind of like, I wish I had done a little, like, close up of this or
exactly.
whatever. But it's good. It's good enough. It's not missing anything.
Right.
I feel like I'm getting the point that I want to get across.
Exactly.
Like
100%.
But, like, if I have a video where I'm like, I really have no example of this thing that I'm talking about.
Right.
I mean, like with the Yi video, I delayed that 2 weeks.
You did.
Because
and even I said like there was 2 things I pointed out. I was like, that would have been fun to throw in. Like, for instance, you were talking about the menu, how it changes if you select.
And I had a clip of it. I had a clip of it too, but I forgot.
Right.
So it was from the other ending.
It was a good enough video where you were like, okay, there's no reason to continue to prolong this. Let's just release it.
Yeah, I had the point that I wanted in there.
Right.
And even then, while I was editing, I was kind of like, I really do not address the audio.
Right.
Let me take a real quick clip.
Yeah, exactly.
And add that in.
Exactly.
Because, like, there's a point I want to make.
Right.
So, like, it's one thing. Like, there is a time and a place for just put it out.
100%.
And there is a time and a place for spend some time.
100%.
Like, it's never quality or quantity.
It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
Because you can't just have one really good 10-minute video
Right.
a year.
Right.
You can't.
No,
I'm sorry.
'cause
If that's all you do,
Right. And
again,
everything
if you're
else
not
is-
on any other platform,
And everything else is less than subpar, like.
if that's all, no, but I'm just mean like, let's say you have just one really good video.
Oh, a year.
and
Yeah,
it's-
I see.
But
Just
it's
literally,
one,
it's
and
the
there's
only
nothing else.
Oh yeah, no.
There's no Instagram presence, no
absolutely
Twitter
not.
presence, and
Absolutely
just
not.
one video.
No.
That's gonna die a really lonely death on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It might get picked up or found
Right.
randomly.
Yeah.
100 years from now,
and it'll get hits. It'll get its hits, but if
Right, it
that's
might
all
blow.
they
It might
see-
blow up in 5 years, but by
Right.
then you might have quit.
Yeah, or by then you're doing something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's you have to be consistent. You have to
100%.
have a schedule, but
It is,
to a
it
point.
is, it is quantity
Like-
and quality.
like
when
we
people
have-
say quantity, the problem is when people say quantity,
They think
they
daily.
instantly think daily.
Yeah.
And sure, YouTube's algorithm loves daily,
Loves daily, loves
but that
10
doesn't mean
minutes.
shit. That doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't mean shit. Guess what? There are plenty of videos that are 500,000 views in the first day. They are literally more views than any other view, and they're not on trending.
Right.
Why? Because YouTube doesn't like it.
Right.
The algorithm doesn't
Yeah.
like something
Yeah.
about it.
I mean, look at automotive videos. There's guys like Supercars of London. His videos aren't good. It's him talking 90% of the time and 10% of a car. You're talking about supercars. It should be 90% of the car and your voice in the background.
It's
That's
one
the
thing.
difference.
It's one
So,
thing
for
if he had
instance-
rebranded. If
right.
he had
Oh,
rebranded
yeah, sure, of
6
course.
months ago,
Yeah,
a year
yeah,
ago,
yeah.
and had said like, "This is going to be about me,
Me,
plus,
my life.
plus supercars." Sure.
It's me. What's his name? I forgot his name. But like, if he changed it from Supercars of London to his name,
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause people have
so
done
now
that.
it's more
'Cause
about
people
him.
have done that. Because you know who
Yeah.
did that? Manny Hapoya. He did that. It used to be Travel Fields.
Right.
That was his brand. That's
Right,
what he
right.
and like that's still like his brand.
Yeah.
But his name is on his channel.
yeah, it's him.
Right.
It's not about a subject.
Whereas I am pretty firmly never going to do that for T3G.
Right.
T3G is T3G.
T3G is
That's
T3G.
our brand.
That's right.
That's
That's
our
right,
YouTube
exactly.
creative brand.
Yeah, 100%.
Like for me, that's like we have the company. Nexus is the
Right.
company. We have our individual selves, but like I have no interest of being an editor or a director or anything
Exactly.
outside of Nexus.
I 100%
If somebody's hiring me, they're hiring Nexus.
Right.
That's my opinion on
Right.
the subject. You know,
No,
like
100%.
and to me, like again, T3G is just like that's where we do our fun shit. That's where we do the
Right.
shit that's like easier. That's not like I'm not spending a year on it. Granted, this other documentary I will be, but like I think that's probably gonna come out on the main channel, like
yeah.
or the main the YouTube, the company channel.
No, 100%.
This other stuff that we're gonna be doing now that something else needed to be out of the way before we started doing the TV shows. The TV shows. What am I talking about? The series where we
Yeah.
talk about the documentary series, the local businesses.
Oh, yeah.
There was something that I forget what, but there was something that needed to be like out of the way.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that's done now. So like we're in a place now where we can go and film that
Yeah.
real quick and
Yeah.
and get it done. Like
But even those, I don't want to just release them if they don't feel good. If
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, I threw a camera in front of a dude
I watched
and
a dude
and
he was
just
talking
record it,
about.
like,
he was talking
it
about.
needs to-
He was talking about recording B-roll after doing the interview.
Yeah.
So that you know what was talked about, so
Yeah.
that you know what to focus
That's
on. And
how
I was
I
like,
do it.
that's a good.
But
point.
that's how-
I hadn't thought of it.
Right.
I didn't think of it one way or another, like as
Right.
far as importance.
Right.
But when he said that, I was like, that makes perfect fucking sense.
Unless you already know what you're gonna ask,
Right,
and
you have
how
specific
something's
questions,
gonna go.
stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah.
Whereas, and like we do to
Right.
a point, like we're going to be
Right,
asking specific
exactly.
questions, but at the same time, like I think
A lot of times I've seen the problem is like people are interviewing somebody handheld and they're like, as they're talking, they're going to the subject, and then I'm like, that's bad. Finish talking to the person, throw in pans.
yeah,
Throw in just like you showing off, like even with cars. Somebody's telling like they're interviewing literally the president of Koenigsegg, but the camera starts doing this while the president's talking. I'm like, no, stop that.
Wow.
Stay on focus and throw in B footage.
wow,
Yeah, it's bad stuff. It's literally just
that like
shitty-
that upsets me to a
100%.
degree that I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah,
with.
because you're talking
What
to
the
like,
fuck?
You should not be moving.
That's
the
rude
camera.
as shit. First of all,
It's even, but it's not even if they don't take it as rude, it's bad. It's
Yeah,
just
it's bad
shitty.
production.
It's just shitty because like your focus is here, and now you're changing it randomly at the same time instead of doing a pan of what he's talking about.
Because it could be a bunch of different things that happens there. Like A, it could be perceived as rude. B,
Right.
what if you start taking a pan of something and they change what they're talking about.
What if you didn't mic them up? The mic is on here, and now you're moving the mic,
exactly.
which happens a lot.
And it's like they're talking, they're answering a question, and then you like point to the lights, and they're like, "Yeah, you like the new headlights, right?" It ruins the fucking question.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's just so many possibilities there. Like, that's so stupid.
No, so it's all about it's quantity and quality, but quantity doesn't mean daily. Quantity means more than once a year, shit, more than once every 6 months, so you can continue to work on the skill, but then also as well release the content. Like, yes, there's being better at it and making sure it's as good as it can be, not perfect, and at the same time having still the quantity.
Yeah.
So doesn't mean daily. When
Right.
you hear I don't know why people assume. Yes, once again, YouTube loves daily. That doesn't mean shit if you can't keep the retention of your
Right,
audience.
there's lots of people doing daily.
Right.
There's
like
lots of people doing
I
daily.
haven't dodged Supercars of London because I know what his videos are. So
Right.
I just like,
And
I'm like, no.
Again, 400 minutes plus, or 400 hours plus every minute
Right.
uploaded.
Yeah.
There's lots of people doing daily.
Exactly.
Guess what? They're not all on trending. They're not all at 100,000, 500,000, a million
That's what I'm
subscribers.
saying.
They're
yeah,
not.
they're not.
Like, that's
Supercars of London has a million plus
it's
subscribers.
it's just like the wealth disparity
Right,
in America,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
The highest paid people, the
Right.
highest subscribed
Right.
channels are this
But-
much of the whole.
Let
Like-
me make this kind of what's funny. Just to finish this off, here's a perfect example. Supercars of London. He has 1 million subscribers. His videos get 80,000 views. It's shit.
80?
Yeah, it's shit.
I mean, 80,000 views on
1 million subscribers.
No.
No, that's awful.
Worst case
What
scenario.
is that? That's not even 8%.
no.
That's like 0.8 or
Yeah,
4%.
that's not even a full percent.
Yeah.
I would say, whatever. I don't know where I got this rule, but the 4% rule seems to be very, very strong for me. When I consider a 4% conversion for anything, so if you have 1 million subscribers,
Right.
400,000 people should be watching your videos.
100%.
If they're not, you're doing something wrong.
Like,
Sorry.
Casey Neistat is a great example of beating that rule. Because he has 10 million subscribers, he gets 2 to 3 million views.
Right.
So his retention span, his
He's in
style,
tens of percent.
Yeah.
He's in 20%.
yeah.
30%.
So like people are liking that style. So and it's not because it's daily content. It's because it's capturing content.
Right.
It is that good of a content where it captured somebody's attention.
Exactly. Exactly.
If
And
he was
it's
just
shareable.
if he
It's a
was
lot of
just
things.
Casey
It's a lot of
Neistat that
things.
did this the whole time,
Right.
he would not have those views. He
No.
would not have those views.
No. He's entertaining. He's energetic. There's a lot of things about Casey Neistat that works. But listen, I mean, what makes Casey Neistat watchable and shareable is the same thing. It's the same reason I'm at the gym now. Is because my trainer came in and made training fun.
Right. He
And
changed
made-
it up for
right.
you.
It was
changed
not
it what you
for-
normally
The
know.
mentality was not let me go into the gym and work the machine and then leave.
Right.
It was this is a fun process.
Right.
And now
Exactly.
I want to go to the
Yeah,
gym.
100%.
It's like once you get into so again, it's something different. It's like yeah, I can do this.
Right.
And that's usually what I do. But again, I'm not a vlogger.
Right.
I vlog.
That's just a
I
that's just
vlog,
a byproduct.
but I am not a vlogger.
Right. That's just a byproduct, literally.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
That's why I stream. That's why caffeine. I don't care if caffeine's huge. I don't care. I mean, right now we have no viewers. I don't
Yeah.
have no, and I'm not ashamed of saying that. I don't give a shit.
No.
Like we have no viewers right now on caffeine. We're live. If you want to join us, there's a little
The
shameless
problem,
plug.
right?
Caffeine.tv/TVG.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, every week.
Like normally it's Tuesday now, but normally we do these on Monday.
And usually have a few people.
Right, and we have a few people. So like, yeah, but at the end of the day, we're doing this because we actually enjoy it. We have
Right.
fun having a conversation and talking about something.
I
So,
literally
like
never
we're
looked
not
at
releasing
our
this because
download
like,
statistics.
hey, dude, podcasts do good online.
Right.
Let's release podcasts.
I have
no,
literally,
we literally
never looked at statistics for
Right.
our podcast. I
Yeah.
don't
No,
know
I
if
don't-
anyone's listening.
No, I have no idea.
Like
I have no idea.
I think some people are watching on YouTube because I can see those
Right,
numbers right
right.
away. But otherwise, like, meh.
Well, that's the thing.
I do think the micro content idea that Gary Vee has. Now that I have a tool, I have a tool. Sarah Dietschy was talking about her podcast, and she uses this tool that like
Sure.
it'll cut out 60
Yeah, yeah.
seconds for you, and you just kind of move it along and say, all right, this is a good 60 seconds, and you can put it on Instagram.
Okay.
I like that.
Right.
I might use it just to kind of get a little more at
Yeah.
because, but otherwise, like. I enjoy having this conversation,
Yeah.
and
I like creating.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna extract a nugget or two. We're gonna have something profound that we come up with during conversations, which is what we always do.
Yeah, 100%.
We come to a point where we get to something like we say it, and then it's like, shit, that's good.
Yeah.
And that's what we're gonna get, and
Right.
it might be episode 43, and we're
Yeah.
gonna be like, holy shit, this is the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'll be great.
Right.
But at the same time, this is still fun. Like
Yeah,
we were gonna
100%.
have this conversation anyway.
We were going to talk. No joke. And I mean, we've been told multiple times when we used to do it without recording.
Right.
Like, you should record this.
That's why I love that. I love that video. I would love to see like the larger context of that video, where those two guys are arguing about the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro, what are you telling me? Like, I love that. I'm like, I didn't realize people were recording us.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
I love that.
But that's really it. That's
on that subject.
That's yeah. I mean, there's,
This is a hard pivot. This is gonna
No,
be a hard
it is
pivot.
a hard pivot, but like, there's nothing else to say. We've
There's
been
really
saying
not.
it multiple times. You know, not even really different ways. It's always going to be the same thing. Like, it's just there's nothing else that needs. to
It
be
goes
said.
back to. I think it goes back to self-awareness.
Yeah.
It's not so much about people do daily and then are successful.
Right.
Therefore, I should.
Right.
It's this is what I want to do.
Exactly.
Like for instance, I'm helping one.
Find
of the,
something you want to create.
Right. I'm helping one of the No Small Creator
Right.
people, and one of the No Small Creator people posted, and they were like, she said, "Oh, I've been working with this designer for
Right.
websites, and they screwed me. Like, basically, they provided this website, and it's like not good.
Right.
And I looked at it, and I was kind of like, it's all right. Like, it could definitely be better.
I mean, I recently.
And
told
she's
you-
like, I gave them a design, and they delivered nothing like that. So I was like, hey, let me help out.
Right.
She sent me the thing. It looks nothing like Sugar on
Right.
it. Dude, like, blew me away. I was like, how the fuck? First of all, I know why they didn't deliver it, because it's like, here is the level at which I want it,
Right.
and they deliver. They're like, they didn't know how to get to that.
Right.
Like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this is challenging.
Right.
On every level, this
Right.
is challenging.
Right.
And I know why,
Right.
but I know it can be done.
No, for sure.
And I told her flat out, I'm like, this is challenging.
Right.
Some of the stuff is going to be difficult to implement, but it can be done.
Well, I was telling you recently, I'm on a rut like where I'm like, I want to make more content, but you know, I hate skipping weeks where there's nothing coming out. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, but I don't want to just release content. And I even told you, I was like, there was that idea that I talked about, and I said, I don't know if I'm feeling that idea. I don't know if that's like my brain right now is like.
Are you talking about the spotlight shops and stuff?
And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's like, I want to do it, but at the same time, like my brain has a very hard time accepting to do something like that. And so if that's playing into your head, you probably shouldn't do it. You probably should give some time to brew over to see if that's
think
you know
about it.
if there's a different way you want to do it, or
I mean, I also
if you want to pursue it in any way at all. So
Right,
it's
right.
like
I mean, I also think that like you're pretty much close to like being done with one of those. You just need an interview with the Tin Shop guys.
sure, yeah, but
And I mean, like that's one of those things that I think you could execute that pretty quickly, and just like it could be done pretty quickly, and then you could see how it does.
no, I understand. But
because
once
it's something
again-
like that they would share.
But my
something
problem
that-
isn't as how it does. My problem is do I want to do it?
Right, but I mean, what I would say is you don't know if you like. I understand that you have apprehensions about it, but until it's done, until you like see it, I don't know that you like have a full objective view of it.
Well, that's, I mean, I wouldn't agree with that, because if somebody's hesitant about doing something due to, like, they just strongly don't have any kind of feeling towards wanting to do it, that is an indication of, like, maybe you're just forcing yourself to do something that you care nothing about. And that is...
And I'm 100% with you, but until you do it and it's fun, you don't know. Because
Right.
I mean,
But
look,
if
look
I'm,
at me
if
last
I'm,
year.
but we've already talked about this. If you're creating something and you have literally no joy of doing it,
Right.
what's going to come out? Probably something that has no joy of being watched.
But here's my thing: you already filmed the stuff that you enjoyed, right? You already included some of it in the vlog. Like you already filmed that stuff. So the only thing that's left is the interview. That's what I'm saying. Like
Well, I mean, yeah, sure, the interview is there.
like for the
but-
most part, like you filmed the shop and like the
Right.
process. I think it will be worth it just because if that's like your least favorite part, I could second shoot for you and do the interview for you if like you don't want to do the interview part. Like
No, I don't know what it is. It's the video, the whole thing, just not
the concept?
Yeah, just the concept. Not playing right on my head.
Yeah. I mean,
Like I might have recorded it at the time, but like I'm thinking about it, the whole concept itself is like, no.
But I mean, like the stuff that you brought up, as far as like you feel like spotlighting other people isn't going to spotlight you.
Well, no, it's not even just like it's not going to spotlight me, but like me spotlighting the shop, like what matters about that shop for me to spotlight them? Is there a reason I really want to spotlight them? They're not a small shop. They don't not charge big money.
Right.
Why spotlight them? Are they good for the community? Nothing that I can necessarily see that they're doing really good for that community and for the automotive community and you know, incorporating.
No, and they're definitely like I mean, like let's say them specifically, fine, but
like, do I know they're good people? No, I don't.
right.
I know they were good when they sold me my product, but that means nothing.
Right, but I mean, like there is something to be said about like you were treated well and they like handled all your questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's something to be said about that.
Right. Like for instance, there's
bad shops.
There is bad shop. There is a shop that I'm thinking about, and I've been thinking about it since we talked about that. And I'm like, if I do a different style instead of just a straight shop spotlight, it could work. And it is a shop that I want to because I know they're good people.
Right.
I've talked to them. I went to multiple track days. Not that I've done, but I've been there to record.
Right.
And like every time I talk with them, they're good people. They're good to talk. Like they have no reason to talk with me, and they always stop, you know, what they're doing, and they say, "Hey, what's going on? How you been? What's happening?" Like we always talk, not thinking like I'll do videos about
Right.
them. Nothing. They're just good, genuine people to
And
talk
that's
with.
and that's
So,
definitely
like,
something.
that
So
makes-
like that could be a
right.
very interesting. That actually could be a really really interesting take. Like this is a shop that's good for the community, good for the industry, like something like that.
Right.
Where like they're
because
gonna,
like if I'm going to
I
spotlight
get
somebody,
that. That's really cool.
if I'm
I really
gonna
like that. Again, that's kind of a going back to what we were saying earlier. That's like a niche thing. Like
Right.
It's not like just a spotlight. It's
Right.
specific.
Like I don't want to
directed.
spotlight somebody because they're in the automotive industry. That doesn't mean anything to me. Just because you're there doesn't
And
mean
yeah, which
doesn't
goes
mean
back
you're-
to what you
that
said.
doesn't
Like,
mean you're
if
good
it-
for
if
the
it-
industry.
if it doesn't feel
mean,
for you, like
yeah. So like, why would I create that? But if I have a different emotion towards the people behind the shop, like I like their attitude, I like their friendliness, their kindness to their customers, their the people they work with, not viewing them just as customers, not viewing them as like, oh, okay, whatever, they paid for that, we're gonna do it and get them out of here. Like if it's not that, if it's like somebody that's legitimate, like they want to be part of the industry more than just applying a certain product to a vehicle. Like these guys are not only their services they offer to work on cars, but at the same time they're very adamant about going to track days, sponsoring guys with nice cars to go race on track.
That's really cool.
On
Yeah.
like, versus with grid lights. So why wouldn't I want to be? Why wouldn't I want to be spotlighting that?
yeah.
So
I mean, that
it's
sounds
just-
really cool. I really, like I said, I dig that. I think that's
So
really
it's
interesting.
all
take.
about. So like at the end of the day, you have to feel it to want to make
Yeah.
it. Otherwise, you're just creating to create, and that's not necessarily always a good thing. Because once again, if you're not feeling it, what's the point?
Right.
Like you just, I'm just creating. Well, that's great, but I'm not passionate about it. It'll do the same thing that it did for the T2G side of things. Like, yeah, I had fun creating tech videos, but I wasn't feeling it.
Right.
I could have literally just stopped making videos, but no, I found something that I
Right.
do have a better connection to. So
Right.
that's kind of where it plays in hand. So
100%. 100%. So now we have no transition to this.
No
for
transition.
our third topic.
no,
What we're going to be talking about old tech versus new tech.
yeah,
I mean, really, we're both running old tech. I've got a
yeah, but this
Pixel-
is like
I got a Pixel 2
this is old and cheap.
and cheap.
And like the fingerprint is quick, on point. I've been running this for a year.
It
and
really
a half.
is. Like, let's do a comparison.
Like-
Let's do a comparison. Hold on.
Like you call it.
3, 2, 1.
Shit,
Yeah.
mine was faster.
Yeah, it was. That's what I'm saying. And this was $1,000 phone.
This is
when
a
it came out.
Huawei 6X.
And this
Honor
mine's a Pixel
6A.
2 XL.
And
like-
this is a Pixel 2. This costs 4 times this.
yeah.
And Now, granted, I just smashed the crap out of my camera,
But it's
that's
a
on
$5.
me.
If
It's a $5 part.
piece.
It's literally just a plastic that
It's just
sits
the
over
glass.
the lens,
It's just
the
the glass,
glass.
yeah.
So we could pop that off, put the new one on, and my phone's still good. But the point is for instance, so when this happened, I was like, I don't know how much that'll cost to replace. So I'm like, okay, what if I get another Huawei? What would I be looking at? And so the 8X, which is not even the new device, the new device is like a Y7, Y9, the Mate 20, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, so the 8X, like, that's not a new device, but there's a guy literally that reviewed it 6 months ago when the iPhone XR came out, or 10R, and he said it's as good as the 10R for 5 times less the price, and the only thing it can't
Because
compete
what would
with
that
is
price
4K.
be? Hold on, what would that price be? $250, you said?
So the 8X right now online is like 230-ish.
So $230. This was how much? $150.
This is, 150 when I bought it.
So that's for both phones.
for both phones,
$350. $370.
380.
$380.
380.
$380. So less than $400.
Less than
for
$400
both phones.
For both phones.
$1,000
Yeah.
for one phone.
Yeah. 10R is like $1,400.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's definitely something to be said for buying cheaper phones.
Yeah. And this is a 3 gig, 32 gigabyte hard drive, 3 gig of RAM, and it does what it needs to do. Now, granted, I have a bunch of downloaded images that are taking space, so I can remove those. That's because, you download them off your OneDrive so you can upload them to Instagram, because the way I edit photos and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't use my phone as a camera. I use my
But
camera
like,
as a camera.
but like real talk, let's see how good the difference of the screen is.
I mean, sure, your screen is better. I mean, it is a better screen.
But here's the
but
thing.
like,
I've used different
Is it-
devices, so this
is
is not
it-
like married to one thing.
but is it 3 times the price different?
No,
That's
100%.
that's the problem.
100%
That's the problem.
no.
Now, if this was a $500 phone and you got that good of a screen, I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, sure, 150.
but that's more than
$500
three because this was $150.
This is 150. Yeah, that's $1,100.
That'd be 3
phone.
times.
Yeah,
that'd be 3 times.
Right.
That'd be 4 times actually.
right.
For $1,000 phone,
Right.
That's like a 7-8 times.
Yeah.
Is it 8 times as good? Hell no.
No.
Hell
No,
no.
no way.
Really, real talk. The reason I wanted this was the big screen and the persistent updates.
Right, persistent update.
Bland,
Right,
bland
100%.
Android. Like there were specific things that I
can't
wanted,
disagree
and
with
that's
that.
what I wanted.
Google's the company behind Android.
Yeah.
Android, their phone is going to get the updates all the time.
Right, and that's
This
what I
phone
wanted.
is stuck on 7. It will not go past 7. That is what it is.
Right, because
So-
Huawei is not going to put the time in.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that
So-
just is what it is. Like that's not something you can't
But
fix that. I mean, you could.
$150
You could
phone, camera just got ruined. I'm not freaking out because, one, yes, sure, I don't use this as a camera
but even
that much,
it's
but
useful.
sometimes it is useful. But like, I can go online and buy a $250 phone and still not have paid what somebody would have paid.
$250 would be the down payment or the contract break
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah. On the
Plus,
tax alone.
plus
Yeah.
you'd have to buy the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's really kind of a no-brainer.
It's no, dude. You can.
If you-
So the Pixel
again-
is the Pixel 3 out?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pixel-
dude, Pixel 4 rumors are coming.
Oh,
out.
okay. So
That's why I
Pixel 3
did
is
the
out.
video.
Pixel 4 rumors are coming out.
They're talking
This,
about a Pixel
this
3
phone right
S
here
or
is
whatever.
half the price than what it was now.
Yeah.
Why not just get the 2 and fuck the other ones?
And it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, I did the video on Monday.
Right.
It's perfectly good. I've dropped it countless fucking times.
Countless.
I've actually got the case finally has like a dent in it. Not a dent.
This
it's like
wasn't even
rubberized.
from a drop. I think I remember.
I think you were fucking with it.
No, it wasn't even because I was fucking with it. I was at Anthony's house Sunday, and I was lifting a go-kart. And I think, because my phone sits like this with the camera out, I think like
It hit your pocket.
a piece that's like sticks out that would fit in here to crack that specifically
Right.
was nudging against my phone while I was trying to move it around by hand,
is.
which is a heavy,
Right.
like the go-kart's fucking heavy.
There it is.
So I think that's what did it, and that's not. I've dropped this phone countless times with this case, and like the screen's perfect. This is actually all these scratches are not even on the phone; they're on the literally the cover that came on the phone. This little screen protector came.
It's still on there?
It's still on there.
You're shitting me.
No, all the scratches that are on there. That screen is mint.
Oh my god, it's still on there.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, the screen itself is mint. If I took that off, it's a mint screen.
Dude, get
Yeah.
out of here. That's
Yeah.
so dope. That's the thing. Like every time I've dropped this, like I said, I've dropped this countless times. Every time I drop it, I'm just like, it's gone now.
Yeah.
Because I am not of the mentality of like I spent $1,000,
100%.
it should never break.
No, this was
like,
this was a
plus,
$5 case.
I've always had a case on it.
Yeah. Always.
Always.
I'll never run a.
I don't
they're
care.
too slim.
I don't
to
care
run.
how pretty it is. I
Yeah.
don't care if it's
They're too slim to run cases.
right.
I don't have the right feel.
I do not care for any. That's why I was.
Anytime I grab a
I had
new
this-
phone without a case, I feel like I'm gonna destroy this with my hand.
I had a whole thing that I cut out of the video on Monday where I was talking about we need to stop like making such a big ass deal about the prettiness and the
No.
fancy materials
No.
and all this stuff.
And phones
We
are
need to stop
irrelevant.
making such a big ass deal about that because then maybe they won't put out a phone every year.
Well,
that's just a
that's what I
prettier
was just,
version of
that
the
was
last
what
one.
I was just gonna say. Where we as society are so stupid that we're paying thousands of dollars for new tech that's not even new. There's
Yeah.
nothing new about it. Literally, the camera on this phone got better due to software update.
Yep.
Not
Facts.
due to the camera
Facts.
being better.
Facts.
Software
I
update.
didn't need to have a Pixel 3 to have night mode.
Nope, you did
I
not.
got it.
Yeah,
And it was dope.
And then all it was required was for the company to decide should we release it for that phone or not. That's it.
That's all it was.
And it's not, oh, it can't handle it. No, it can. Do we want to release it or not?
Right.
Now, there is certain things to be said.
some
like,
point-
if
at
you're
some
running
point
an
you're gonna need more.
iPhone 5 and we're on iOS 13 and you're mad because you're not getting iOS 13, I'm saying that's not, like, official. I'm just saying, let's say iOS 13 gets released and you're on iOS...
I mean, let's be real.
I'm
They're
just
gonna
saying,
release
no,
it
of course, every year. It's not, it's every company
every year.
does it. Every company does it.
And
But
if you are
regardless-
listening to this,
but-
our first teaser video, prequel video thing for the series that we're going to be doing is going to be up before the fucking
But I mean,
announcement.
so there are certain things like if your
in
phone's
June, I think.
5 years old and no longer accepts the new OS, don't be mad that it like some things just simply will not run right on an old hardware. But this is a 1-year-old, 2-year-old phone at best.
Right.
Like there's no reason night mode wouldn't ran.
Right.
So it's like the camera got better not because the new Pixel 3 has a better camera. It doesn't. I'm certain that the sensor difference is irrelevant. Irrelevant. Like you're talking about
I think they said.
like the 70D, like let's say cameras
Was
in
it?
general. The camera
I think the camera was a little bit better, but on like the iPhone,
but
for
not
instance, like the
not,
iPhone 10s.
not a new $1,000 phone difference.
Yeah, the iPhone 10s and the iPhone, whatever the newest ones, the ridiculous ones.
The Max, whatever.
Yeah, the 10s and the 10s Max. The one camera was the same camera from the 10.
Right. Yeah.
So what are you
That's what I'm
getting
saying.
out of that?
Nothing. You're just paying money, and they'll keep doing this.
And,
every
and
company.
what do they do? They
This is
add
not
they
just
add
for-
RAM. What's
right.
what's the S10 have?
This is
the
for
Galaxy
this is
S10
for
has
every
12
company.
gigs of
This
RAM.
is for every company. Nvidia releases
Those
yearly
motherfuckers.
shit, and they've said it. We're not giving you the best shit because why would we? We're giving you the same. We're giving you slightly better shit. That's maybe 5 to 10% better, and you're willing to pay $1,000. Why the fuck would they release you the best thing they can if you're willing to do that anyways? It's we as a society are literally making the industry broken. We're willing to pay for something that's not worth that much money.
Right.
It doesn't cost them to make.
If
listen,
if everyone who wants the best graphics,
the 2080
if-
Ti didn't cost $1,100 to make.
nope.
It didn't even cost the $500 they're charging for the 2060 or whatever is available. It didn't. Because they've already said they have better than that.
What it is here's the thing, and again, if it was the first time they were making a graphics card, you could set whatever price
Sure,
you
of
want
course.
because you had to put in the research
But now-
and the development.
all right.
All you're doing is upgrading the chips.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not like redesigning the
Yeah.
fucking.
Oh,
you're
we
not
we
you're not
redesigned
reinventing the
everything.
wheel.
We're down to 12 nanometers. Like you didn't redesign shit. You've upgraded, but that's not redesigning.
Remember, we're still on bullshit 64 architecture.
Yeah.
Real x64 architecture would require a complete redesign of the motherboard. Like the idea of the motherboard would have to change. We're still on bullshit 64.
At the end
Like,
of the day,
end of the day-
I'm shocked that I don't know what it is about having to have the newest thing.
Why did you get sick all of a sudden?
Oh, I'm always congested. I run my life 24/7 as being congested. It has nothing to do with being sick. I get congested all the time. But it's dumb. We're willing to pay these absurd amount of money for nothing.
It's super
For nothing.
It's super dumb.
It's-
That's why I don't.
I've said it. I've said it. You've heard me.
Yeah.
I will never again buy $1,000 phone.
No.
That is a laptop, and a phone can't do what a laptop does.
I don't care what any commercial tells you.
Nope.
Eat a dick.
Nope. Guess what?
It's still a fucking
Guess
phone.
what? Remember that commercial for iPads where it's like, what's a computer? That iPad needs a computer to properly be able to do
Yep.
everything. Because
Yep.
if you don't have iTunes, you can't do everything that you need to do to that iPad to properly make it function again.
Nope.
Or any of that.
Nope. If you
That's
need to
why-
reinstall it, it can't reinstall on its own. You
That's
need a
right.
computer. You
That's
have
right.
to have a computer.
It's-
Therefore, it's not a computer.
It is not a
it's not a
computer.
primary
That's
device.
right.
It's an accessory.
But you can do a lot. I don't
Sure,
care.
you can do a
Sure.
lot. Yeah,
can do a lot.
you can do a lot
not
on
a-
this phone. But at the
No.
end of the day, if this crashes and I need to reinstall it, I need to plug it into a fucking
Correct.
computer to fix it.
That's correct.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like it's stupid. It upsets the shit out of me.
It is not worth
Like-
what something else can do better.
Right. No, it's not. And again, I said in the video
That phone right there, when it came out, should have been a $500 phone. Period.
Yeah, but it's a
If-
flagship.
But it's a
house.
flagship.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
if this is 150, at max that's 500.
Realistically,
At max.
what's the better things? It's got a better camera. It's got a better screen.
And you have maybe a little bit more RAM. You have 4 gigs.
Couldn't possibly tell you. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you tell?
This is a 3 gig phone for RAM.
I don't know. Do I have CPU-Z or whatever? No, probably not. I don't care.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, it's slightly better, but it doesn't make it a $1,100 phone.
No. Again,
I literally
it's-
can
it's
buy
the-
a
it's-
badass
it's the
laptop for
convenience.
$1,100. Of course, it's the convenience.
It's
but
a lot.
still.
It's a lot of the dumb shit. But it's
The-
like if you're aware that that's what you're buying, that's
The
like you do you. Like if you're talking about value, you cannot tell me it can be the value for you.
The problem,
but that's a decision
right,
you're making.
Right. The problem is people don't realize that these prices these guys are charging is because the people are willing to pay. If the people, in all honesty, would just not buy the next new product,
Yeah.
they would change their pricing method instantly.
That's
They're
right.
like,
That's right.
Why didn't nobody buy our new phone?
That's what I was gonna say. If Nvidia
Because it wasn't relevant.
If when Nvidia puts out the 3000 series,
Right.
not a single fucking person bought it.
Yeah, they would change that instantly.
Guess what? Those prices would plummet
Right.
within 2
Right.
weeks.
That's why
If
when
the first week-
when Intel released the CPUs and they got yelled at because legitimately they were the same CPU with a different name. Literally the same CPU, nothing changed, not even the fucking percentage of performance.
Right.
And they just released it. You should not pay for that.
No.
Like you should show them you
But
guys are assholes.
It's the
Here's
mentality.
more money.
It's just the mentality of like I gotta be at the bleeding edge. I
Yeah,
gotta have the most
100%,
recent, best,
100%.
newest thing. But at the end of the day, like
Is it technically better? Sure.
I have no
But not-
interest in buying the next. Like I don't care about the Pixel 3.
Nope.
Didn't care about it.
Nope.
I won't care about the Pixel 4.
Nope.
I might buy the Pixel 5. Why? Because 5 is my
Dude,
number.
Samsung has a great screen.
That's
I
it.
don't give a fuck. I'm not
That's it.
paying $1,400.
Like, literally, I might buy another $1,000 phone in 2 more years
Just dumb.
because I want that number.
That's-
And that's the thing. I am fully aware that that is a stupid reason. I'm fully aware
Sure.
that that is my reason.
Right.
But that is my choice
Right.
that I'm making.
Right.
And if I decide right now that for the next 24
That's
months,
why- that's
I'm
why-
going to save the money
Here's a
to then
perfect
do
example.
that,
If
that,
people
who cares?
if people don't believe that these phones, when they come out, are not worth the money they're selling for, here's a perfect example. Then why is this $500, $600 now? Fine.
Right,
You don't
if
like
it costs-
you don't
what's
like
up,
that.
Uncle Peter?
You don't like that as an example? Let me give you another funnier perfect example. Why is 4K $600 and not $4,000?
Right. When 4Ks first came out,
Yeah.
$7,000 TVs.
They're $600 TVs now. With
Even
the
less
smart,
sometimes. Even
with
less
the
sometimes.
smart capabilities.
Like
sometimes.
this stuff only costs this much money when it first comes out, and the only reason it does is
because people that people
exactly,
will pay.
Exactly.
People will pay.
It's
the
not
money.
like you cannot tell me that Samsung is put out that much that it costs them that much more the first year to make a TV.
No.
It doesn't, because Samsung makes TVs all day, every day.
They sell them every day.
Like it's not a matter of they needed to build a whole new factory.
Right.
No.
Nope.
They
Same
literally
factory.
said, you stop making 1080p's, put this chip in instead.
Right.
Move on with your life.
Yeah. Oh, they paid a new designer to come up with this amazing.
Exactly. When flat screen TVs came out, same
but
thing.
all that R&D. What R&D? They figured out how to take a screen they're already making to be curved. It's not like it's all. It's not like it's millions worth of dollars of R&D.
And they had already been doing that.
And
they've been doing that for fucking years.
I know.
So like R&D.
It's not like they got a new team to figure this out. They didn't spend millions.
Right, exactly. And they didn't do it over the course of a year. They've spent a fucking decade doing it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And Uncle Peter makes a great point. When flat screen TVs came out, like they went from tube TVs to like the flat panel plasmas.
Yeah.
And that was like the fucking magical hour.
Of course.
And they were fucking $5,000.
Of course.
And I knew 3 people that had one. It was like a big ass 50-inch, and it was like holy shit.
4K was $7,000. You can buy it for $600 now.
And it's again, it really turns around. It's not a matter of they don't have like Tesla. Those numbers are actually real because there are literally people hand putting these things together right now because he's got one production facility.
Yeah,
they put together every single one.
Yeah. No,
that's a real example of how the pricing
That's why
works.
there was a backlog. That's why you have to order your.
And that's why
you can't
they
go
literally
into a dealership and buy a Tesla.
That's why they literally said, we're not making the cheap Teslas until we make so many of these other ones that have already been paid for, because we need that money to pay for these.
Course, yeah.
So like that's a real world example of what everyone else wants you to believe happens.
That's what I'm saying.
When in reality, Samsung decides tomorrow that they're going to put out their 8K TVs tomorrow.
It's not a $10,000 TV.
It's not a $10,000 TV because all they do is they switch the panel that they put into a screen on one assembly line that they already had.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything.
It's not a new factory.
The R&D was already being done by a team that they already had.
Right. Didn't hire new guys.
Exactly. Nothing new happened.
Nope.
Like, nothing new happened. They just did more shit.
Yeah.
Like, they did the same shit, and they just did it more.
But that's why even the car industry is a bunch of idiots. They're selling cars that should be certain prices, but they're selling them for more because they're like, oh, people are going to buy this. And I'm like, no, people are not. I have a buddy that's not in debt like I am, and he's not even buying new cars. No, motherfucker. People are not going to buy that. Like, that's the.
I've said this before. Doesn't everybody fucking have a car at this point?
Yeah.
How is there a dealership every
Although
200 feet?
Although to be fair, your wife recently posted about the trip she's taking your car versus her 13-year-old car, and then somebody else was talking like, oh wow, now that I've typed that out, I see how old my cars really are, and I'm like, yeah, but they're still relevant cars,
and they still work.
They still work. All you have to do is do regular maintenance and change your brakes. It'll be a perfectly functioning car. Right. As long as you did your regular maintenance. Sure, if you didn't maintain your car, your engine might shit out on you.
Right, exactly.
But that's on you. That's any car.
If
what are you gonna?
You didn't do your oil changes.
Right.
Guess what?
Should I buy a new car now that it's 4 years old, 5 years old? No. I'm gonna keep my car until literally it looks like a Fred Flintstone car. Till
you gotta push it.
Until I gotta push it. Like that's just, it doesn't make sense. Why would I want to pay $25,000-$30,000 when I can spend $1,000 to fix it? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Now, if your car is only worth $1,000, and then you need to spend $1,000 to fix it, then it's a little closer.
But that's only if it's worth $1,000, just because people say it's worth $1,000. Like, if it has no rust, if it's still clean overall, but the only issue is like it has $1,000 worth of work and it has high mileage.
Right.
I'm not selling it.
Right. I mean, like when I sold my ZX2, it was not worth $1,000.
Right, but
like it was in decent condition.
Sure.
But it literally, it needed. I think one of the O-rings were bad,
right.
So it was leaking into the spark plugs.
Right.
And I think at that point I'm like, I don't know when the last time the water pump was done. I don't know the last time the time. If I'm going to open it, I got to do everything. At that point, it just started adding up in my head, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna say.
And I completely
Like-
understand that, but at the same time, cars that were made in the 90s, like my 2014 car will never be as bad as cars that were made in the 90s. Sure, they won't have the tech that comes out in 2025, but I don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, what tech are you going to release that I'm going to give a shit that much about
Look at my car, right? It's been discontinued. There is no more Prius V going forward,
Right.
at least for a while, hopefully. But like the 2014 was like one look. The 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 19,
Right.
all the same fucking car.
Yeah.
Literally all the
Literally.
same car. I was so mad because when we were at the auto show last year, I walked up to it and I was like, why does it look exactly the same on the inside?
Right.
It's my car.
Yeah.
It just has a different front bumper,
No,
and they
exactly.
changed that in 2015.
It's dumb. Like new generations get released.
At
and
least-
people are
at
like,
least
Oh,
Nissan-
time to sell my car.
At least Nissan every 2 years actually redesigns the fucking Altima,
Well, I
and it's
mean-
a brand new redesign.
I mean, they
Sure,
have legitimate
but there's no point.
body changes to the car, but like, as much as I love Nissan, I'll never buy a Nissan because they don't sell the transmissions I want in those cars.
Right.
It'll be one or two. If I gotta go automatic, you gotta have a dual clutch. I don't care for CVT. Nobody cares for CVT transmission. Mechanics hate, like legit, mechanics that have shops hate CVT transmissions. They hate working on them. They cost too much to fucking fix. So I'm like, okay, well, if we're gonna go that route, it needs to be manual or dual clutch for me. Or at worst, the ZF transmission that's in Lexus, where it feels like it's almost like a dual clutch, where it registers that I've shifted fucking gears.
Right.
Like, but otherwise, I'll never buy a Nissan. I will never buy I won't buy new cars anymore.
Because even the new GTR doesn't have that, does it?
New cars have paddle shifters, and they are dual clutch, but it shifts for you even in manual mode. Like, you can tune that out third party, but I'm like,
Wait,
if I'm
I
touching,
feel like you've told me about this.
yeah.
So,
but
like,
if I put it in manual,
if you're driving in manual,
so
and
there's
it
auto,
hits,
then
you know,
manual.
5,500,
Right.
it'll shift for you.
It'll shift for you.
Fuck that.
Right. I'm like, that's not the point of manual. The point
Fuck
of
you.
manual
I'm
is,
paying $80,000.
but
Let me
if-
fucking shift.
But you
Like-
can hold RPM. So if you don't hit red line and you're like under red line, it won't shift for you. But like, yes, but I want to be better at being a better driver, not the car to be a better car.
Nah, that's
Like,
silly.
when you buy a car like that, there's
That's
a reason
silly.
why. Right. So it's like, to me, it's
But I imagine someone's gonna hopefully take advantage of that if there is a way to, and make a manual conversion for that car.
somebody has already.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean like that, and that's the way to go because that's a car you gotta shift, man. Like that's
I mean,
silly.
I
That's
was mad
silly.
when that car got released. I was mad. I'm like, really? No manual? Up to this point, all GTRs have been manual, and you're just going to release this
And what year did this start?
2008.
Was that when they first came out?
Yeah.
So they never had
They never had a
The new
Skyline.
ones.
They never had a Skyline here.
right, but I
They
mean
never
the new all the new GTRs have always had this.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that. I
Yeah.
thought some of them at least were.
No.
Oh wow.
No. And their excuse is, but it's faster. My excuse is, it's less fun.
That's silly.
That's a fact. I don't give a shit if it's faster in a straight line. Don't care.
Right.
It's not as fun.
Right. Yeah. That's.
You want to talk about fun factor? My fun factor is when I know I just downshifted like a boss. I rem matched. It was fucking perfect. I feel great. I'm a good driver.
It's when you execute a really good driving maneuver. Even in my fucking automatic car, when I take a turn perfectly, and there is such a thing as a perfect turn,
right.
it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels like
Right.
you let go of the gas, you hit the gas
Yeah.
at the right point
So,
of
like-
the turn. Like it feels good.
Because there's always
Like,
this argument like, oh, automatic's faster. I'm like, automatic is faster in a straight line. Everybody else.
Exactly. Speed doesn't matter for cars. It's how they make you feel. Like
That's right. That's 100% accurate. Because automatics are faster in drag racing. That's it.
Yep.
Every other racing, even NASCAR, uses manual transmissions. Why? Because to control your own gears and not rely on a computer is always going to be a better feeling. You're going to be the better driver.
Right. Because
They're not paying the car to be the racer. They're paying you to be the racer.
Because then it's just that game where you put the car on the track
Right.
and you just hold the button.
Yeah.
Hold the button
Literally.
until it goes.
Like, people are like, oh, like when I watch drag racing, don't get me wrong, I love the show, like Street Outlaws, love it. It's about drag racing. But in all honesty, when I'm sitting there, I'm watching, and I'm like, they're letting the car shift. I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, why not just make the car steer and everything? What are you good for?
It's going straight, so like
Yeah, it's going straight. Oh, but I got a pedal and stuff. Yeah, you can make the car do that at that point.
Yeah,
if a computer can do already automatic
I mean, it's
driving,
everything is fly by wire.
yeah,
Like,
everything, yeah.
You know what? Now that you say that, they should make automated driver drag racing.
Yeah. Because if you want to talk about how like you're a
Like
badass
the Cadillac
driver,
CTS-V
like you're not a
versus
badass
Tesla.
driver if the only thing you're doing is this and you floor it. Like sure, there's more to drag racing than that. Yeah, you have to make sure you don't floor it so you're it's a tuning game, right? It's a tuner's game. You have to tune it so there's not enough power in the back wheels
Right.
to peel out when you're trying to launch. There's, you gotta maybe do a pedal fest when it's breaking loose in the top end and you gotta keep it straight. Sure. But if you can, but like, that's great. But what's the point? You're still not the better driver. If you can slam on the gas, launch that car, and it goes straight, and the other guy can, at that point, it's just whose car is better at shifting and has more power.
Whose car? Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not a better driver.
Even then, if you want to say it's a tuner's game, right? Then it all becomes a numbers game.
Right.
It's how well do you tune it?
Right.
Which
How
is
well?
numbers.
Right.
How much
Which
power
is
do you
CPU.
have? How much power do you have?
Right.
Numbers.
Right.
Like it's all numbers.
Yeah.
It's just math. At that
So
point,
that's why-
at that point, don't even drive the cars. Just like
Don't get
math
me
it
wrong.
out.
Don't get me wrong.
Just math it out.
Don't get me wrong.
Whoever
When
has
I-
the better numbers
when
wins.
I have the capability of having a drag car, I'll have a drag car. It'll be a manual drag car, but it'll be a drag car. But it'll be manual, and I will be slower than the automatics, but I will be having more fun.
Right.
Because I know that I'm becoming better as a driver to know when I need to shift, how I need to shift to not be peeling out when I'm shifting due to high power.
Yep.
And get down that quarter mile as fast as I possibly can. Even the mile racing that they do on airports. I will still be better and more fun.
Yeah.
Like, automatic is just not fun. Is it faster in a straight line? Sure, of course it is.
Yeah.
But if that's what's fun for you, cool. But that's not fun for me.
Right. And I
So-
think that's a great place to end it.
It
here.
is. It is, because at the end of the day,
At the end of the day,
why
you do
pay
you,
so
boo-
much money?
You do you, boo
You
boo.
do you, boo boo. But why pay so much money for new tech when old tech is just as good?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
right. Really.
That is a
If-
statement.
If it ain't broke,
If it ain't broke,
why are you fixing?
why are you fixing shit?
But that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching, for listening. If you are watching this, listening on podcast or watching and listening on YouTube, make sure you check out caffeine.tv/T3G Media. Usually we do this Mondays. Sometimes we do it Tuesdays.
It just
But
depends how stuff lines
It does tweet right away as soon as we start. So make sure you follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
T3G Media.
Yeah.
If
If
you
you
think
want-
that's the first time I've promoted
That is
Twitter.
the first time. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
That's
It
right.
is the best way if you want to know if something's out.
Yep.
Because you'll see our videos out and you want to watch it. If you want a notification, if something's out, that's the best way. Because if you're going to use Twitter as anything, use it as a notifier.
Yeah.
You don't even...
Because guess what?
Because you don't have to be a Twitter active.
If
You'll
your-
still
if
get our
your sub
notifications.
box, if your sub box doesn't work on YouTube, which is a thing that happens
It
sometimes,
happens all the time.
your Twitter is always going to see that we posted a tweet.
Yeah,
and
100%.
that
100%.
posted a tweet. That's how little I use Twitter. You never say posted a tweet. That's not how you do it.
You tweet
You're
it.
Doing it wrong.
You're
Damn
doing
it.
it wrong,
Damn
man. You're doing it wrong.
All right, that's going to be it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure you check out caffeine.tv/T3G.
Check out all the podcast stuff.
all the podcast stuff. Check out T3G.media. Making some adjustments on the back end there.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Make
launching
sure to
some
stay
new stuff.
tuned to other channels for
T3G Media, of course.
some fun things coming up.
Fun new stuff.
Plus,
Super
it's
fun
summer, so we should really
There's gonna be lots of new
we
stuff.
should really start getting all the stuff we want to do.
Yeah, you see all the sunlight
in the
that's coming
works.
in? I'm like
Yeah.
backlit like a boss here.
Yeah.
This table is
Yeah.
stark white, like can't see anything. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Later.